heat, your body's not able to cool down quite as fast.
John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
One lawsuit may not have been enough. Noblesville is once again suing the owners of My Inner Baby, accusing Ryan Polikoff of operating a sex shop, which is not allowed in the city.
They won due to a procedural error by our attorney, so we never had a chance to truly argue our case in court.
This store has reopened since being ordered to close after the first lawsuit. His shop sells stuff like adult-sized diapers, pacifiers, and onesies. Polikoff says it's all for medical purposes. Thursday night was one to remember for five-time Olympic medalist Lily King. Ryan Hedrick reports.
The former IU swimmer was already on her way to the Paris Olympic Games when her boyfriend, James Wells, stole the spotlight. Wells proposed to her on national TV, and King didn't hesitate to say yes. Wells said the moment for the proposal was perfect.
Having this be in her home state is so incredible.
On NBC, King says that she wasn't expecting a marriage proposal from Wells this soon. Ryan Hedrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
The average price you're paying for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $3.55, says GasBuddy.com. If you're wondering how that compares to the national average, it's about 10 cents more expensive. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Everyone's talking about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation, like your neighbor Jerry.
When we first started looking for different options, we went to the internet. Really, we did choose Galaxy, and definitely happy that we did. We first had our front porch and our pool deck done. Decided we loved it so much, we had them out about 10, 11 months later to finish up and do our back porch.
Commercial or residential, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a 15-year warranty.
The crews at Galaxy were great. They actually cared about my property, very punctual, knowledgeable, and just a great group of workers.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings works for any area like patios, garage floors, driveways, and around pools.
I'm 100% satisfied. It's not slippery and it's not hot. I was very impressed with the product. It's amazing that I don't burn my feet and my 6-year-old doesn't fall.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook, GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com. We are out of this world.
The traffic in the 5s at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Bear.
Good afternoon. Harrison westbound 70 jammed up Shadeland Avenue into the north of Split, and that is a delay time right now, 30 minutes. Delay continues on southbound 6570 down to Fletcher Avenue. The vehicle fire in Hancock County, westbound 70 at 200 west. All lanes have reopened. Still slow back to 9, and we have some rubbernecking in those eastbound lanes. It is a construction zone. Please be careful. On the southeast side, southbound 465 from I-70 down to I-65. To 9 miles of closure for 21 days. Will begin reopening tonight and possibly go through tomorrow. So we will have this back by morning rush if everything goes to plan. Eastbound 70 stop and go from the west side, Holt into Meridian, Illinois, and on the southwest side, southbound 465 locked up from 70 to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Our Friday is going to be on the partly to mostly sunny side of things without much wind to help cool you down, and a high temperature getting pretty hot in the low 90s with feels-like temperatures reaching the mid to upper 90s in the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Dreamer Tudis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
Oh, the drama. Say the drama for your mama. Drama with the Indiana Democrats, baby. My name is Nigel. It's Jason Hammer over there. You thought things got nuts when the Indiana delegates, Republicans, picked Micah Beckwith instead of Mike Braun's choice for lieutenant governor. You thought that was nuts. Wait till you hear what's going down with the Democrats right now and McCormick's pick for her lieutenant governor, should she win on the Democrat side.
So yesterday, the Democratic nominee for the governor's seat, Jennifer McCormick, said, I'm going to pick a Democrat that has voted against gay marriage, that loves guns, and doesn't like abortion. Pretty much the opposite of everything that the modern-day Democratic Party stands for.
Yes.
So that didn't go over real well on social media. So It sounds like an Indiana state senator is actively considering trying to win that bid for the lieutenant governor seat at the Democratic convention coming up. The same thing happened to Micah Beckwith, right? He wasn't the hand-picked choice. That was Julie McGuire, but the delegates still chose Micah. So Senator J.D. Ford, Democrat from District 29, said that...
I believe that's my district in Zionsville, portions of it, with Carmel and Indianapolis, yeah.
Yep, he said he is considering a campaign for the position.
Oh, wow. He's going to pull a Micah Beckwith, huh? Is that what he's trying to do?
It sounds like it. And honestly, I admit, I don't know how many die-hard Democrats I have on my social media feed. Maybe there's a lot more than I realize. But the things that I saw, nobody was inspired by this choice of a lieutenant governor by Jennifer McCormick.
I would have been even less inspired. Did you see the apology? Like, he was groveling. It was so pathetic yesterday when McCormick made her announcement, and he gets up there and, I think, quote, my vote on women's reproductive rights was pretty spotty at best. Like just apologizing for his view that marriage should be between a man and a woman, and his voting record on that. It's just so sad for a guy 57 years old to sit there and grovel and apologize and for basically his entire career voting. And McCormick's in the background just giving him the side eye. That's right, you are. You're damn right, you better be sorry for that crap.
He's apologizing for his entire career just for the sake of having his ass whipped this November.
See, that's where you and I differ.
Okay.
That's where we get a little sideways. Everybody, every Democrat from, I said it yesterday, Hillary, Bill, Obama, they all believe marriage should be between a man and a woman. And what I say yesterday, they're now heroes in the gay community. Rob put it best when describing McCormick and this Gooden guy. They're like shapeshifters. They walk into a room and immediately adapt and change to whatever else is in the room. And McCormick was a Republican at one point in her life.
Air quotes, Republican.
Yeah,
right.
well,
same way Governor Holcomb is a Republican.
You can say the same thing, air quotes, Democrat for Terry.
True. But if both of those cats that you just mentioned played basketball, I know what their move would be. Fake right and go left. Miss Allison, we've got some big Indianapolis news, and I need some mood music.
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
Nige, is Indy about to partner with the WWE for a historic deal?
When you say historic, I mean, let's see, WrestleMania has been here before.
It has. And SummerSlam has been here before.
Raw's here all the time.
Raw's going to be here on Monday.
Okay.
But this deal, and it sounds like they're close to getting this done. This was breaking news yesterday, that the city of Indianapolis would host the 3 biggest events that WWE has over a series of years, starting with the 2025 Royal Rumble.
Wow.
That would be this February. And then the other big events, WrestleMania and SummerSlam in the near future, all of these being held at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, obviously with the success and the spotlight that's been on the Olympic swimming trials here is a big deal. The NBA All-Star Game was a big deal, even though it was kind of cold. Everybody was inside. And the Super Bowl after the Colts won the year. I think Indy is sort of becoming this sort of Midwest hub for events like this. And I think the time trials, the Olympic time, the way they pulled that off, the way everybody involved pulled those Olympic swimming trials, putting a damn swimming pool in the middle of Lucas Oil.
And a tailgate village on Georgia Street.
Yeah.
Like, we're tailgating for swimming trials. I don't know how many cities could pull that off. And here's what I know about the folks over at the Sports Corp and Visit Indy. Not only are they the best at what they do, they know when there's competition. Like recently, Nashville has been upping their game. They're building a new stadium. They want to start being in the mix for Final Fours and Super Bowls and things like that. There's talks of maybe some sort of indoor stadium in Chicago. Could that steal the Big Ten away? So whenever competition starts to come up from the water a little bit, man, the folks that visit Indy and the folks at the Sports Corp, they respond, and they do it big. But this would be a lot of money for the city of Indianapolis. WWE superstar Roman Reigns, your thoughts?
Indianapolis, acknowledge me.
Thank you, Roman Reigns. A little bit more mood music. Allison, please.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
To quote Ron Burgundy, Nige, it's so damn hot.
Milk was a bad choice.
Going to be hotter tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow should be the hottest day of this week.
But I think it's lasting, though. I think it's continuing on into next week.
Could be a little bit of rain late Saturday into Sunday. Here's Marcus Bailey.
We'll go 93 for a high today and feels like temperatures likely mid to upper 90s. 72 mainly clear and muggy overnight. And then tomorrow, potentially the hottest day of the year. 93 is what it is so far. That was on Monday. I'm going with a high of 94 tomorrow afternoon. It feels like temperatures will flirt with the century mark tomorrow. Wow. Let's talk rain chances. We probably won't see the rain arrive around the metro area until sometime after 2 a.m. Closer to daybreak, then I do think it's wet Sunday morning. Some rumbles possible, some downpours certainly possible. But it's not going to be an all-day rain. It's not going to wash out your entire Sunday. The morning probably a little bit wet, but by lunchtime and certainly heading into the afternoon, we'll kick the rain out of here. And actually, that's a cold front, so that's going to bring in slightly cooler air and drier air. So I don't necessarily say it's comfortable, but it won't be quite as oppressive and nasty as it's been the past couple of days.
That's Marcus Bailey, meteorologist over at Wish TV 8. So whatever you're doing this weekend, please try to be careful. I'm going to watch my cousin's softball game tonight. She plays travel softball at Indy Sports Park. I think it's what it's called. It's over there off of Harding Street. So that game starts around 8:45. If anybody sees me there, come up to me and say, Hogset sucks, and I'll buy you a beer. First person to do it, I should say that. First person that sees me at that softball game tonight.
Beer there?
I think so. If not, I'll buy you a Coke or whatever you want. Hogset sucks, and I'm buying the first round. Here's a little something to sum up not just the weather in Indy, but a lot of places around the country.
It's friggin' hot. It's friggin' hot. The ocean's become a giant lobster pot. It's friggin' hot. It's friggin' hot. Hotter than a wife whose husband just got caught. I look to the sky, say, God, please send help. But what good is heaven? I'm already burning in hell. It's friggin' hot. It's friggin' hot. My bowl of Dippin' Dots are now drippin' drops. It's friggin' hot. It's friggin' hot. Like Margot Robbie tossed in Carolina Reaper wing sauce. Your girl's acting crazy, has a bad attitude. You would too if you had sweat dripping from your boobs. It's friggin' hot. It's friggin' hot. It's friggin' hot.
Matt Bear, I don't know if you've heard, but it's friggin' hot.
It's friggin' hot, all right, and I'm telling you what, we do not want to break down in this heat today. Westbound 70, man, oh man, looking at 465 to the north, split a delay going 29 minutes again, plan accordingly. Looking at southbound 6570, that's stop to stop and go down to Raymond. Southwest side, southbound 465, stop from 70 to the White River. Vehicle fire in Hancock County is cleared on I-70 at 200 West. It's taking a minute to clear out traffic. It is a construction zone, but the front of the line on the move and getting out of there. Northbound Keystone Parkway, stop and go from 116th Street up to 126th. Traffic sponsored by the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. That's 999-9000. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
In addition to listening to this show here at WIBC, you can watch it on the WIBC YouTube channel. Now, you're going to really want to watch it later on when our pal Jennifer the Watson's girl from back in the day, comes in here and does Celebrity Beer Bong
I can't wait.
around 5:48. But coming up next, we're going to drag Matt Bear's mangy ass in here, and he's going to talk about the road closures, maybe some roads opening back up. The traffic beast, Matt Bear, in studio, coming up next, 90, right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
With Tire Discounter's new TD Chat BS, we can detect deception over the phone. Let's call a typical tire store.
Yellow, cheapo tire where we bolt them on for less.
Yes, I am in need of tires and lubricant for my vehicle.
Great, come on in. We'll slap on some new tires.
And what about the lubricant exchange?
Oh, yeah. We send you over to Ollie's Oil for that.
Location?
They're right down the road. I can almost see them from here.
Deception. Destination is 5.2 miles away.
Well, I'll be.
I may also need braking analysis.
Oh, Bert's Brakes will take good care of you.
Calculating. Time and distance for 2 additional trips.
You mean you want to do tires, oil change, and brakes all in one fell swoop?
Exactly. I observe that Tire Discounters is close by.
Ugh, Tire Discounters.
And they are experts at oil changes, brakes, shocks, and...
I'm losing you.
Hello? I'm sorry. Your system has crashed.
Stop in today for Savor the Summer Savings.
You love the summer in Indy, so don't ruin it painting. Do what Judy did. She called Rhino Shield.
The house that Rhino Shield did for my husband and I, after having the house painted with kind of usual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating specifically formulated for our unique climate.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the exact right color because I was very particular.
Indy, you can get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 10% off the regular price.
I would not hesitate to call Rhino Shield, and I am just thrilled to recommend Rhino Shield to my friends and neighbors and family.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-9336. 800-444-9336.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold now.
Message and data rates may apply.
This is the best Zero Res offer I've seen. 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $119. 388-5141. Online at ZeroResIndy.com.
This hour on WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. I want to thank Matt Bear, the traffic beast. Last Friday, around this time, I was texting you. I was off work, but my wife was trapped. Do you remember this? In the express lane construction zone 465, and there's in those construction zones they have like the express lane where it's just one car at a time going through, and then right next to the express lane is multiple lanes. But somebody had gotten in an accident up above her, and people were actually I texted you the video. I should put it out on Twitter. People were turning around in this express lane instead of waiting for the accident to be cleared. They were turning around and either driving the opposite way or backing away on the shoulder.
I can honestly say I was concerned for your family.
Yeah,
I mean, I really
was too.
I mean, that's
these idiots. I mean, they instead of waiting, 20, 25 minutes for NDOT or the police or whoever to move the accident out of the way so people could proceed through, the people were turning around on 465 on the express lane going the opposite way.
At least there was an accident where you had an idiot going the wrong way.
Yeah.
I just had an idiot this morning.
Right.
And the remarkable thing is I can, on my worst day, imagine wanting to drive in the wrong direction on an interstate. I mean, this was totally planes, trains. You're going the wrong way.
You're going to kill someone.
It's like, good Lord, people. And I think my immediate response was, my visceral response was pull every one of their driver's license.
Yes.
Yeah, here's the video.
I'll try to put that out on
If you
X.
could, that would be awesome. And your wife, I remember listening to the video. She's just beside herself. She's like, what do I do? It was just completely defeated because people are turning around and there's a crash in front of you that you can't see, and it's just one lane. You are pinched in between these concrete slabs.
Yeah. Thank you on a Friday for responding to me personally. It's like, Lindsay was like, "Can you text your traffic guy and ask her what's going on?"
Oh, she just calls me the traffic guy. She can't say text Matt. No, absolutely. No, I'm glad.
I did. He texted me back a picture of his wiener.
That's what you get for calling me traffic guy.
I'll put that video up here pretty soon.
Matt, tell me some good news.
Okay, we do have good news today for once.
No way.
Southeast side, southbound 465 is going to start reopening tonight. And this is that stretch from I-72, I-65. This reopening is going to take a minute. It could be going on through tomorrow, but we'll be ready to go unless something, you never know with these things, but unless something goes completely wrong. We'll be ready to go for Monday morning rush hour. So this 21-day closure begins ending
And stuff
tonight.
has gone wrong in the past. You remember about 20 years ago when the hyper fix was being done on, I think it was 465, and they were almost done, and some drunk moron crashed into it, and they put him back a couple days.
That would have been the first north split redesign that led to the second north split redesign that we just got through. I do remember the north split redesign that we just finished up about a year and a half ago. We had those supply chain issues coming through because everything was shut down during COVID, and it was supposed to be done at a particular time. Well, we couldn't get materials into the north split. And I remember it was like just construction had stopped, and then over Christmas there was just this little Christmas tree planted in the middle of the North Split. It's like, at least we can celebrate Christmas. This interchange's never going to be done, but at least we have a little tiny Christmas tree, Charlie Brown style, right in the middle of it.
Chatting with Matt Baer, the traffic beast, here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Matt, where are we at with Pornhub? About to be unavailable unless you want to enter some sort of information in.
Here's kind of where I'm at with the whole thing, as I understand it.
That took a right turn.
Yeah, it took a right turn. That's what we do. Here in the state of Indiana, they pass a law in the General Assembly that says you have to have some sort of age verification for pornography. And, listen, I'm not a champion of porn. I'm just a champion of traffic. and my thing is, everybody should be able to look at what they want to do. The thing is, Pornhub says we're going to shut it down on July 1st because there's litigation that could be involved, saying if somebody underage goes to the site and sees content that they don't find acceptable, that these sites can be sued. So Pornhub is kind of saying we don't want to mess around with this thing at all. My question about the whole thing right now is, does anybody really think this law that was passed by the state of Indiana is going to stop teenagers from looking at porn? That's what I want to know from a parent's perspective. I'm not a parent, and I...
Because they worked so well on the rap albums of the early 80s and 90s, right?
I sought those rap albums out explicitly because of the parental warning on the cover.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, I remember Peel the Seal. Everybody had the Peel the Seal T-shirts because Congress passes this law. It says, okay, every album that we deem that's going to be foul language or naughty or talking about sex or having the F word, we're going to put this label on. It's going to be this black label that says parental advisory down in the right corner. And these stores, whether it's on cue, man, that's a blast from the past.
People were buying shirts that said that.
Yeah.
Parental advisory. Woody Harrelson wore one, and white men can't jump when he played ball with Sydney when they took on King and the Duck.
That's a great
and
reference.
Everybody I know still had 2 Live Crews banned in America. I mean, everybody.
Banned in the USA, yeah.
Yeah, banned in the USA. And I look at, you go through the song titles of this album, you're like, well, maybe that should have had a parental advisory. My question is, does anybody really, really think in their heart of hearts that this law is going to curtail the use of porn from teenagers? If it does, I'm all for it, because of course you don't want your kids looking at that stuff.
So you're part of the Supporting Sobriety podcast, and each week we try to play a clip of the most recent episode. What do we have today?
This is an episode that was partially inspired by the conversation we had after this segment here on the Hammer and Nigel show. In fact, Guy Relford was in here, and he asked me a really good question, because supporting sobriety, me being a recovering alcoholic, Ryan Hedrick, my partner, being a recovering addict, he does the morning news here on WIBC.
By the way, people can get addicted to what we were just discussing.
Yes,
as well.
you can get it if you get addicted to things, you can get addicted.
Yeah.
Addiction is addiction, but it's a podcast for the caregiver, for the people we torment. And a guy asked me a really salient question in the fact of, okay, you're always saying go caregiver go, you're cheering them on, but then you're saying take care of your mental health. Take care of you. Don't lose yourself. And I'm like, I'll be damned. That's a really good paradox right there. That's a really good. Maybe we're contradicting ourselves a little bit. So this is a clip from the show and something we kind of put together from the latest episode. You've seen this before, right? He's talking about people that he loves the most, and he almost has tears in his eyes. He's like, I'm trying. And I was like, I walked out of there a little pissed off at myself. I mean, I was like, okay, what are you doing, dude? I mean, you're telling people, go, caregiver, go, and this guy is almost at his wit's end. My words, not his. Okay,
Right.
Okay, I'm not taking anybody's inventory here. But what do you do? I mean, does it come to the point where you go so far until you lose yourself? Okay, we get into this in this latest episode. You can find it at Apple, Spotify, anywhere. It's Supporting Sobriety Podcast. And we address where does the caregiver go? Because what I was referencing there was a gentleman, and he was talking the other day in a different place about some of the people that he's at risk of maybe losing to the disease of alcoholism, and he's a caregiver. So I do feel bad. I feel really bad about saying, oh, you go to your wit's end, and this man is just beside himself. So
Right.
we address this in the podcast.
You take on tough stuff, and for that, we appreciate the hell out of you, Matt. Matt Bear, the Traffic Beast. Matt, love you.
Love you guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
My new Galaxy concrete garage floor, out of this world. I needed a new garage floor. My old one has been my house is like 40 years old. Garage had never been taken care of. It was cracked, uneven, dirty. And within a day, the guys from Galaxy Concrete Coatings came in and made it 4 times as stronger, 100 times easier to clean. And they did not use epoxy. All my neighbors are, they're kind of jealous. I got a new garage floor. They're like, is that epoxy? No, this is better. Polyurea is what the guys at Galaxy use. That's the new premium standard for coatings on your garage. And they can do more than just your garage. Basement, pool deck, any indoor, outdoor area concrete, call them now, 751-9070, or go to their website, galaxyconcretecoatings.com. If you're a seafood fan and you have not been to Jay's Lobster and Fish Market in the Garage Food Hall in the Bottle Works District downtown Indy, you are missing out. We know Jay, and he knows seafood, man. The lobster rolls are incredible, and I'm addicted to the lobster mac and cheese for sure.
Also in the Garage Food Hall is Palavana Cubano. And I'm telling you, if you haven't had their authentic Cuban coffee, it just hits different. You have some of this stuff, oh, baby, it is fantastic. Palavana Cubano, tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hi, it's T. Brian Hayes here from the Retirement Money Matters Show. It is time for our question and answer show for June, and we have many great questions to answer, including one about new RMD rules for this year, another one on how to protect your retirement plan from inflation and higher prices, and another on how to invest retirement dollars in a high-risk market. Find out the answer to these questions and many more on the Retirement Money Matters Show, which airs this Saturday morning at 6 a.m. right here on WIBC.
Life's full of unexpected joys, like problems with water. That's why there's Michaelis, a crew of 24/7 experts who are rescue ready, day or night, one phone call, for a gazillion disasters. Over 3 decades of restoring your home or business to better than new condition. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It could get even hotter. 90 degrees downtown. It feels closer to 95. Radar's clear. Low of 72 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:32. The work is not done yet for your air conditioner.
So we're looking at a high temp still in the mid-90s for both today and tomorrow.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service says storms are also possible Saturday night and into Sunday. Heat index values could hit the triple digits next week. After almost 3 years, the police have finally arrested someone in the case of a man who escaped from the hospital. Ryan Hedrick reports.
O'Shawn McCullough was driving his car more than 100 miles an hour when he was being chased by the cops in 2021. The chase went through several counties and eventually ended when the car McCullough was driving collided with another car. He had to be flown to the hospital and was placed in a medically induced coma, but when he woke up, he escaped. The cops found him at a home this week. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Vice President Kamala Harris talking in New York today about next week's debate between President Biden and the former President Donald Trump.
They're working from a playbook to attack freedoms, to spread hate, to divide our country, and to make people feel alone, to make people feel small.
CNN will host next Thursday's debate. You can listen to it on WIBC. It starts at 9. A shop owner and the city of Noblesville are getting ready for another round in court. Here's Kurt Darling.
Ryan Polikoff is the owner of My Inner Baby, a shop that he was forced to close in 2022 after a lawsuit.
They won due to a procedural error by our attorneys, so we never had a chance to truly argue our case in court.
Talking to Wish TV, that case being that they're not a sex shop. Polikoff sells adult diapers for people with medical issues, he says, but also adult-sized pacifiers, onesies, and other role-playing items for what he says people use for age regression therapy. Noblesville is once again suing, claiming that they are violating city ordinance. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Traffic and weather in 60 seconds. It's 3:34.
So what's in the bag today? Yesterday's leftovers? Another lunch meat sandwich? Well, go ahead, pull up a rock and settle in for a half hour of I wish I was eating something else. Or you could be eating something else or someplace else. If you're brown bagging it at the corner of 30th and Shadeland area, drop over to His Place Eatery for 30 minutes of why didn't I know about this place sooner? Nothing fancy, not a lot of frills. They save that for the quality of the meal, like ribs that fall off the bone, southern fried chicken, sides that'll cause your taste buds to thank you into tomorrow. And all of it within 30 minutes. Put that in your brown bag and eat it. Better yet, bank the bag. Go to His Place Eatery off the corner of 30th and Shadeland. Your dirty boots and work clothes are welcome here. His Place. Your place for lunch. Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Friday, 11 to 8, Saturday, noon to 8, and Sunday, noon to 6. Go to hisplaceeatery.com to learn more.
Traffic at 3:35. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison westbound 70 has stopped Shadeland Avenue to the north split, a 29-minute travel time there, and continuing southbound 65, that's stop to stop and go down to Raymond Street. Inbound 65, stop and go 21st to the north split. Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic Tibbs Avenue to Meridian, Illinois. Looking at the northeast side, a westbound 465 slows from 69 past Allisonville Road, and again from Meridian past Michigan Road. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better hot tubs. 24-hour water filtration, purification, and aeration means better water quality. Natural minerals and Epsom salts means better relaxation. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Our Friday is going to be on the partly to mostly sunny side of things without much wind to help cool you down, and a high temperature getting pretty hot in the low 90s with feels-like temperatures reaching the mid to upper 90s in the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Sutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hello, my name is Nigel. That's Jason Jason Hammer with a special guest on the hotline.
Tommy Pigott is the Strategic Communications Director for the RNC. You can see some of his work on the popular handle at RNC Research. Tommy, it's almost debate time. We've got a debate coming up here very soon. What are you looking for in this debate, and specifically from Donald Trump?
Well, I think what we're going to see from President Trump is that President Trump is, first of all, a fighter. He's going to go in there, and whether or not it's 1v1, 2v1, or 3v1 with the moderators, he's going to go in there and he's going to fight. He's going to get his message out to the American people. And with that fighting spirit that he has the record to back it up. So President Trump's going to go in there, talk about his record, talk about his vision to make America great again, and then talk about Joe Biden's failure. So I think we're going to see that contrast between Joe Biden and President Trump. And I think Joe Biden's going to have a very hard time defending his record because his record is indefensible. And that's really the test here. I think a lot of the media are already trying to lower expectations for Joe Biden, that if he doesn't faint, somehow it's a victory. But that's not what the American people need to see. The American people need to see this comparison of records, and President Trump just flat out has the better record.
Is there any concern at all from the RNC that this is a debate? It might be the only one. We don't know, depending on how Biden feels or performs. But it's at CNN, hosted by CNN, no studio audience. They have a mute button. Like, all the things that were agreed upon here feel like they favor Joe Biden.
And, you know, the mainstream media is talking about that, too, saying that it favors Joe Biden. And what I find most interesting about that analysis is, why does everyone assume that favors Joe Biden? If Joe Biden was competent, you wouldn't think those types of things would favor him, right? This is almost an admission from Team Biden and the mainstream media that he's not competent, that he's not fit for office, because they're admitting that he needs all of these aides, basically, to help him go out there and last 90 minutes on a debate stage. Ultimately, though, like I said, President Trump is a fighter. He's going to go in there, and whether it's 1v1 or 1v3 with the moderators, he's going to still win this debate because he's the better messenger, he's the better candidate, and he has the better record. That's going to come clear in this debate. And I think the American people aren't going to be fooled by the attempts of Team Biden and their mouthpieces in the media to try to claim that Biden doesn't feign, or if Biden doesn't confuse basic facts, that somehow Biden has won, when in reality, Biden needs to defend his record. It's the record that is going to affect the American people, and the American people are going to decide this election upon.
I love that the bar we have set is, well, he didn't faint.
And you know what, Tommy? You know, Tommy?
The State of the Union?
Yeah.
I mean, the State of the Union, it was massive volume control. He was yelling the whole time, randomly throughout the entire speech, making stuff up. And the mainstream media acted like because he didn't get lost walking down the one aisle to the podium, somehow it was a success. It was absolutely absurd. And they're going to try to do the same thing here. I mean, everyone knows it. Everyone sees it. But, again, you can't deny reality about the record. And President Trump's going to go in there and hold Joe Biden accountable. And he's going to go in there and have his own record that he's going to say, hey, look what I was able to accomplish. We need to make America great again.
And you know what, Tommy? If Biden does happen to fall down or fall asleep or nod off or whatever, Karine Jean-Pierre will just blow it off as a cheap fake. Did you see that this week? I don't even think she was saying it. I don't even think she was saying it right. What's a cheap? It's a deep fake. Like, you know, the video of Obama on stage recently with Joe Biden, Obama having to take him by the hand and lead him away. That's a cheap fake. What did you think about that whole thing?
Well, a cheap fake is really just an unedited video that Joe Biden doesn't like. I mean, that's what a cheap fake is in reality. I mean, they completely invented this term. And the videos that they were calling these quote-unquote cheap fakes were unedited, unfiltered, undoctored video from publicly available streams. That's what these videos were. And they showed the full context of the event, and the American people saw it with their own eyes. And the Biden campaign, in reaction to unedited, unfiltered video, had a multi-day public meltdown. You had one staffer who posted about this north of 70 times over a 3-day period. 70 times. I mean, thank goodness they're working for the American people, right? Not going out there trying to push this information. I mean, it's absurd. 70 times posting about an unedited video of Joe Biden. And it shows that they themselves know that Biden is not mentally fit for office because they know the American people know it. They're trying to go out there and say, don't believe your own eyes. But this isn't 1984, the book. Yes. This is 2024 in reality, and we're able to see the reality of Joe Biden with our own eyes.
Tommy Pigott is our guest. He is the Strategic Communications Director for the RNC. Tommy, turning our attention to the border here, it's been a rough stretch of headlines, a rough time in the news cycle, as we call it. Just seeing all these awful stories taking place, that didn't have to happen. Joe Biden's wide open border, that's the reason why a 14-year-old girl was kidnapped from Indiana. Now, thank God she was found alive in Missouri, but that wasn't the case with this mom of 5 from Maryland. Listen, I get it. U.S. citizens, we do a lot of crime on our own, but this is almost begging for more crime to happen when you have this wide open border situation. Talk a little bit about the past couple of weeks and what you've seen at the southern border.
Well, it's really horrifying. I mean, there is a bloodbath happening in this country because of Biden's border policies, and he could end it at any time. He could reinstate President Trump's policies, but he refuses to. He sees what's happening, and he refuses to. And I think a lot of these examples we're seeing are not just the initial failure of refusing to secure the border, even though that is where all these people should be stopped at the border. It's also the refusal to enforce immigration law internally. We saw with the murder of Rachel Marin, for example, that the man arrested for that murder was supposed to be deported in 2002, and he wasn't. And one of Joe Biden's stated policies is that he does not believe that local police who arrest illegal aliens should turn them over to ICE for deportation. He said that. And those are the policies that Biden is putting in place. All of these crimes that are happening because of this border crisis are preventable. And we're seeing these really horrifying examples across the country. And it's also the fact that we're seeing this increase in organized crime across the country. There are Venezuelan gangs, brutal Venezuelan gangs, who target cops in Venezuela, who some cops in Venezuela have fled to the United States because of the lack of safety there with this gang. That gang is now operating in the United States because of this border crisis. Biden has ceded control of our border to the cartels and to the gangs. And the results are these heinous murders, these robberies, these sexual assaults, but also the fact that we have these cartels in these gangs operating in the United States with impunity, with organized crime. It's horrifying, it's horrible, and it's all preventable. And the fact that Biden refuses to do it shows he's unfit for office. On day one, President Trump will seal the border, will deport these criminals, and will keep American communities safe.
And Tommy, last thing here, it seems like there's a major lack of compassion as well. When we heard from the mother of Rachel Morin on television this past week, she stated that nobody from the Biden administration has called. And when talking about the grisly murder of her daughter, Mayorkas just called it a statistic. You go back to the dignified transfer when the bodies came back from the botched Afghanistan withdrawal. You had Joe Biden looking at his watch. It's one thing to have a bad policy or make a bad decision. It's another to lack empathy. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And it's extra insulting because Biden sold himself as Mr. Empathy. That was one of his main campaign pitches, aided by the media. And it's the exact opposite. You're exactly right to point out the fact that he looked at his watch during the dignified transfer, and then he had the audacity to say that he was right about the Afghanistan withdrawal. He has never said the names of those 13 service members who were killed out loud in public. He's never said them, and that shows the lack of empathy. The fact that Mayorkas said this individual about Rachel Morin, that is so outrageous. The fact that he mispronounced Lakin's name at the State of the Union after he was forced to say it. What Biden should be doing when it comes to these issues is actually taking responsibility. That's what a leader does. A leader takes responsibility and accountability. If they do something and it doesn't work, or if they do something and it causes damage and horrifying crimes to occur, you'd expect a leader to change policy. But he is so stubborn. He spent 50 years in the swamp. He is so stubborn. He refuses to change policy. And because he refuses to change policy, we shouldn't expect any different results if he gets reelected. The only way this changes is by kicking him out of the White House. That's the only way we can get this country back into sanity. Joe Biden has shown that he's not empathetic. He doesn't care. He only cares about one thing, and that's power.
Check out some of his work at RNC Research on X. Tommy Pigott from the RNC. Tommy, great stuff as always, man. We'll talk next week.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, man, the last thing you want to have happen when it's this hot is your air conditioning to sputter out. If it does, you're going to want somebody that knows what they're doing. If you want a new air conditioner installed like I did, you got to go with American Standard. I have American Standard equipment, and I only use American Standard dealers.
Family Heating and Air, the Morris family, and staff ready to hook you up this summer. You could call Rachel, Marcus, or Malia today to make sure that AC unit is ready for the hot weather. and it's going to be hot this week. Family Heating and Air always encourages you to call them for a free second opinion. If you've got a quote from another company and it doesn't look right, call Family, because nobody takes care of you like family. 317-577-8077. That's Family Heating and Air. 317-577-8077. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Indiana Pathways for Aging helps Hoosier Medicaid members age 60 and over get support at no additional cost to live life their way.
Mom's Parkinson's is progressing, and Pathways provides in-home support so she can be with family every day.
Pathways coordinates Medicaid and Medicare services. I'm getting help with meals, personal care, and transportation.
One day, I might choose a nursing home, but today, I have options with Pathways.
To learn more, eligible members call 87 Pathway 4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had Leaf Filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/beacon first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/beacon to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
What seems to be the problem?
Doctor, thank goodness. My husband found out Cricket Wireless has 5G plans starting at $15 a month, and his jaw just dropped.
Did he hear about Cricket's blazing fast 5G?
Yep.
What about their reliable nationwide coverage?
Yes, that too.
I see. Unfortunately, there's no cure. But you will have really fast 5G.
Get jaw-droppingly fast 5G for $15 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Video may be limited to SD. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. Subject to change. See store for details.
Indiana adventure is near. Come to Grant County this year.
Cruise over to Fairmont, Indiana, Saturday, June 29th for the James Dean Spring Run Car Show. Hundreds of street rods, American classics, incredible muscle cars take over James Dean's hometown, celebrating his classic cool spirit. Get details at showmegrantcounty.com. Grant County, Indiana, classic cool.
Indiana adventure is near. Come to Grant County this year.
Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's family-owned jewelry store, is dedicated to quality and fine craftsmanship. Let them help you celebrate that special moment in your life. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better. Come into any of our locations and make the salesperson prove the superiority of the Royal Spa product.
Royal Spa.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
All right, Matthew, what are we looking at?
Westbound at 70 stop traffic from Shadeland Avenue to the North Split. That's 40 minutes on the way. Looking at eastbound 70 stop and go from Tibbs Avenue to Meridian, Illinois. Southbound 465 still closed from 7265. That begins reopening tonight. Should be ready for Monday morning rush hour. East side northbound 465 express lane stopped from East 56th Street up to 71st. Crash reported. Westbound 465 stop and go off 69 past Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Attention indie homeowners, is your cooling system ready for the heat? Don't sweat it. Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered with their special $89 cooling tune-up offer. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I told the folks in the YouTube chat that we will have a presidential debate bingo card ready to go next week. Getting ready for the debate, so look for that. We'll have that out for you. Coming up a little bit after 4 o'clock, the Attorney General, Todd Rokita, will be on the hotline with us. We've got some questions for him. That's coming up after the news at 4. Right now, it's 90 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Yeah. What up? This is Dr. Dre. The party's going on. Thank God it's Friday.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, by the way, Hammer, I'm wearing currently on my face ivermectin.
Oh, you've got it on.
I've got the ivermectin paste. I've got the horse paste on my face that was prescribed to me by a dermatologist.
You're wearing it.
Finally came in the mail. See, I told the story last week. I finally went to the dermatologist. Or no, it was this week. It was Monday. I went to the dermatologist because my face is all blotchy and breaking out and just awful. And one of the things the dermatologist prescribes was this ivermectin, but it's in like horse paste form, I guess. I don't know. It's in lotion form.
How dare you use horse paste?
No, it's.
Do
mixed,
I sound like a CNN anchor yet?
It's mixed in. Yeah, exactly. It's mixed in with a couple other medical components in lotion form. But I've got ivermectin on my face,
rubbed all over my body.
I've got ivermectin in my butt crack. Not catching COVID.
How did you not crack up laughing when they prescribed it to you?
I got so excited when she mentioned ivermectin. I go, wait, could you say that again? What? Well, I'm going to prescribe you some lotion that has ivermectin in it. And she went, blah, blah. I wanted to so bad.
Oh, you missed a golden opportunity.
Does it have hydroxychloroquine in it?
Any remdesivir in the back.
Dexamethasone. Okay. All right, where are we here? Oh, Caitlin and Angel rematch this weekend again, right?
Yeah,
Caitlin
Sunday.
Clark.
So is this appointment television for you?
Yeah, absolutely it is. I've watched virtually all the ones that have been on. I haven't watched all of them, but I've watched all the Fever versus Sky games. That's a rivalry right there. And
this will be the first one in Chicago.
Yes.
Where Angels had the home court here.
Angel Reese.
And USA Today had a story about the ticket prices for that game. On some of the secondary markets, SeatGeek, along with fees, you can just get in for $252.
No thanks. I'll just watch that.
Lower level courtside seats are like several thousand. Tick Pick, I said Tick Pick, $270 just to get in to watch the game, and that's upper section up there by the rafters, by the Jordan retirement jersey.
Now, look, I mean, Caitlin had one of her best games of her rookie career last Sunday on Father's Day against Chicago. So I'm all about the rivalry. Batman needs a villain, and I think Angel Reese is that villain.
And twice against those no good, rotten chicks from the sky, Caitlin's been beaten up. Like she had the hip check, hard fell, raked across the face, So we'll see what happens. I'm interested. It's got my attention.
I'm not paying $271 to go see virtually anything. Maybe a concert.
How much did you pay to go see George Strait?
I think it was around there.
Okay, all right.
I'm not going to go watch a basketball game for that much.
Big news. Amazon is eliminating those air pillows from their delivery boxes.
Oh, you mean the ones that my kids take out and stomp on, and it scares the crap out of me because it sounds like a shotgun?
Those exact ones, yes. So Amazon's doing away with them, and I got to thinking, Nigel, it seems like only yesterday you and I launched this letter-writing campaign to Jeff Bezos and Amazon because they were looking for locations for that second corporate headquarters. Yes. Indy was in the mix, and we launched a letter-writing campaign.
Dear Jeff Bezos, thank you for selecting Indy as a finalist for Amazon's second corporate headquarters location. We're a much better choice than the other cities on your list. For example, Roanoke, Virginia. Roanoke, Virginia. I apologize. The mere thought of living in a town like Roanoke puts me to sleep. In fact, I'd rather watch an endless loop of Joy Behar sitting on the toilet after Thanksgiving dinner than spend one day in Roanoke.
Come on.
Did you know the most famous person in Roanoke is a teenage YouTube celebrity named Cameron Sullivan?
Who?
There's a dead moth lying in the windowsill of my garage with more personality. And finally, if you've ever had lustful thoughts involving a family member, then by all means, move to Virginia. That's where most family trees are straighter than an arrow. Sincerely, Hammer and Nigel. P.S. Did you know if you took out the second I in Virginia, it spells Virginia?
Oh, come on! All right. The Attorney General next.
Close your eyes and picture it. The warm sun on your face. The sound of waves lapping against the shore. What if I told you that feeling of summer relaxation could be yours all year round? At Howard Bailey Financial, we specialize in retirement planning that lets you embrace that summer state of mind every day. Imagine knowing that your future is secure. With our expert advisors, we'll craft a personalized retirement plan tailored to your dreams. Whether it's traveling the world or pursuing your passions, we'll ensure that your retirement is as carefree and fulfilling as a relaxing summer afternoon. Embrace a summer state of mind and text SUMMER to 888-494-5004 to download our complimentary retirement toolkit and experience your retirement planning with confidence.
This endorsement was not provided by a client of Howard Bailey. This individual was compensated for this endorsement. For more information, visit howardbailey.com/TSY.
Community Health Network cares for your heart health. From heart scans and vascular screenings to complex heart procedures, you can count on our expert team for the highest quality cardiovascular care, when and where you need it. Your path to a healthy heart starts with knowing your risk. Schedule a heart scan or vascular screening today. Visit ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care. Simply delivered.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188.
Advent is now open in Indianapolis and Avon. Find out more at adventknows.com.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, it's going to be hot this weekend, but there are some chances for rain to go with it. A man who's been wanted out of Bloomington for 3 years finally been arrested. And a surprise for former IU swimmer Lily King last night. That's all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert. A mass shooting at a grocery store. I'm Lisa Brady. State police in Arkansas just confirming 2 people killed, at least 6 wounded, including a law enforcement officer, after a shooter opened fire at the Mad Butcher grocery store in Fordyce, a small city south of Little Rock. Police say the suspect was critically injured after being shot by police. There is no word yet on a motive. A federal gun law designed to protect domestic violence victims is upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court in an 8-1 decision, ruling that when a person is found to pose a credible threat to someone else's safety, they can be temporarily disarmed.
The court cites precedent, noting that the Heller decision said the right to keep and bear arms is not unlimited. More specifically, the court found that this is consistent with their decision in Bruin, which said restrictions on firearms must be consistent with historical regulation.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. A fake electors case in Nevada has just been tossed out by a state court judge who says prosecutors chose the wrong venue. 6 Republicans were accused of submitting certificates to Congress, falsely declaring then-President Trump the 2020 winner in Nevada. The state attorney general now says he'll take that case directly to the state Supreme Court. Adult smokers get a new choice from the Food and Drug Administration. The first menthol-flavored e-cigarettes to win approval.
The FDA has authorized 4 menthol e-cigarettes from Enjoy, based on company data purportedly showing e-cigarettes help smokers reduce their exposure to the harmful chemicals in traditional cigarettes. Parents groups and anti-tobacco advocates predict the decision will lead to more teens vaping, but the head of the FDA's Center for Tobacco Products says the strength of the evidence of benefits to adult smokers switching to less harmful products was sufficient to outweigh the risks to youth.
Fox's Jack Callahan. A mixed finish again on Wall Street. The Dow up about 16 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Some rain would be helpful. A mix of clouds and sunshine over the circle. Currently 90 degrees. Your radar is clear. Low is 73 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Along with the weekend heat, Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service says storms could show up.
Yeah, there could be some marginally severe weather for Sunday and Saturday nights, but we're not looking at widespread severe threat for either of those days.
He believes some stronger storms could roll through Tuesday as heat index values are expected to reach 100 degrees next week. He nearly died in a car chase with Bloomington police, but somehow got away. This week, officers finally caught him. Brian Hedrick reports.
It was a simple traffic violation that caused Bloomington police to attempt to stop a car that was being driven by O'Shawn McCullough. Instead, McCullough refused to pull over, leading the cops on a multi-county chase that ended only when McCullough's car collided with another car. Police say McCullough woke up from a medically induced coma and escaped from the hospital. He was arrested this week. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The owner of a shop in the city of Noblesville will meet in court a second time. Ryan Polikoff was sued by the city 2 years ago, forcing him to close his store, My Inner Baby, calling it a sex shop, which those aren't allowed in the city.
They won due to a procedural error by our attorney, so we never had a chance to truly argue our case in court.
Polikoff talking to Wish TV. His store's now reopened, selling adult-sized baby items like diapers, pacifiers, and onesies. Polikoff says it's all for medical purposes, but the city's suing him again. Lily King's second-place finish in the 200-meter breaststroke Thursday was enough for her to qualify for the event in Paris.
Lily King is going to pass Walsh for the second spot.
But who cares about the call on NBC? Her boyfriend stole the show, getting down on one knee after.
No, I was really confused because Annie told me to put my hair down before I walked out. It's having it in my cap, and I was like, okay. And then I was just confused because you were down here. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
James Wells surprised her with a proposal, and don't worry, King said yes. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the precision and accuracy of the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indie. You'll be amazed at the permanent natural results you can get and get back to work ASAP. Darren Andrews, clinic director of We Grow Hair Indie, is here to tell us more.
The Artist Robotic FUE hair transplant at We Grow Hair Indie, one of the most sophisticated hair transplant procedures available. The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Don't wait. Call today and find out more about the Artist Robotic FUE at WeGrowHairIndie.com. Call 317-522-2995, 317-522-2995 for your evaluation, 317-522-2995, and grow your hair back today.
The traffic on the 5s at 4:05. Here's Matt Baer.
Harrison looking at northbound 465 at East 71st Street. It is the express lane that's partially blocked because of a crash. Left side is blocked here at the moment. The right side is open. Traffic is getting by slowly, and we are stop and go in said express lane back to East 56th Street. Main line is slow but unaffected by that crash. Looking at westbound 70, that is jammed up 465 into the north split for a delay time of 39 minutes. Also checking out inbound 65, stopped from the north split back to MLK, 25 minutes on the drive. Looking at the south side, eastbound 465 slow in pockets from Kentucky Avenue over to I-65. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Attention Indy homeowners, your cooling system ready for the heat? Don't sweat it. Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered with their special $89 cooling tune-up offer. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Our Friday is going to be on the partly to mostly sunny side of things without much wind to help cool you down, and a high temperature getting pretty hot in the low 90s with feels-like temperatures reaching the mid to upper 90s in the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Sutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock!
Nigel, that is Jason Hammer right over there. A week from today, we'll be talking about the debate between Trump and Biden. That happens next Thursday on CNN, correct?
Yes, we will have that here on 93 WIBC. And if you just can't bring yourself to watch CNN, they're going to simulcast it as well on Fox News. So I don't know what's going on here. Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
Wait a minute. You could watch the presidential debate that's being put on by CNN on Fox News?
Yes. They work together. They've got some sort of deal in place. And there you go.
I guess the more viewers, the better for CNN. I mean, their ratings are horrifically low.
We were talking about this mute button that CNN is going to have access to. Maybe that's going to be a blessing for Donald Trump.
No, I think it is, because that debate between Trump and Biden in 2020 or 2019, when it was Chris Wallace, Trump was kind of did himself in, kept on interrupting, kept on talking with the insults and everything like that. It was not a good look from Trump during that debate.
Right. Just let Biden talk.
Yes.
Because he'll dig his own grave if you just let him talk. He'll call somebody by the wrong name. He'll have a gross, wet cough. He might even fall asleep. I don't know. All right, let's pivot and talk about some things happening here in Indiana. And joining us now on the hotline is the Attorney General for the great state of Indiana, Todd Rokita. Mr. Attorney General, how are you?
Legal stuff.
That's right. I wanted to get you on to talk about some Title IX stuff, but I saw you responding to, I think it was a tweet from Fox 59 in regards to the 14-year-old Indiana girl that was kidnapped by illegal aliens, and you weren't real happy with the way it was worded by Fox 59.
Here, let me read the original headline. Just in, law enforcement in northeast Missouri arrested 5 men this week accused of kidnapping a Cass County teenage girl who was reportedly being transported to California. The AG Todd Rokita's response: multiple illegal aliens arrested, charged with kidnapping after missing Indiana teen found in Missouri. There, fixed your headline, Fox 59. That was pretty good. What?
It's unbelievable. 5 men, no, illegal aliens that should never have been in this country in the first place. One of them was a flight risk. They should have been deported immediately. But because, honestly, one person, one administration, 47 executive orders signed at the beginning of the administration that reversed our current federal laws that would have booted these guys immediately. And instead, this poor girl nearly gets killed.
So what can you do in your office to prevent this kind of thing from happening in Indiana? I know this is a wide open border, and that's a national problem. That's Joe Biden's work at the border. But what, if anything, can you do with your office to protect Hoosiers?
Yeah. Here's the problem. Here's why it's not national. And your colleagues, let's call them, in the media, when I first started going down to the border, my first year, back in 2021, panned it, saying, oh, my gosh, he's way out of his lane. He's going down there, and he's got no business. Yeah, we do have business. In fact, because every state's a border state when you don't follow our immigration laws, when you don't enforce them, and that's exactly what's happened. Within 48 hours of crossing the border in Texas, you can be in Indiana with your fentanyl, with your sex trafficking, grooming young people, increasing our crime rates. You talk to any sheriff, any police chief, and they will tell you crime has gone up because we don't police our border. And so it is our problem. And so we were the first state in the nation, the first non-border state in the nation to file suit against Joe Biden for this lawlessness. We're claiming damages, extra costs, the cost to educate our children is one of the points, but also, the increased fentanyl, the increased crime rate. These are all costs to Hoosier taxpayers. So we're suing Biden for it. Now, ultimately, I just don't want the money back. I want the behavior changed. I want the policy changed. I want those 47 or whatever executive orders rescinded, and let's get back to some normalcy. But those are the levers I have, and they're lawsuits. And guys, these are long baseball games, right? So we're probably only in the 3rd inning of that lawsuit. We're getting help from Florida, who has a very similar suit going on. And so, we keep pushing. The best remedy is the next election.
You mentioned lawsuits. I believe the Attorney General from Missouri is trying to sue New York, or is suing the state of New York, calling it election interference for what they're doing to Donald Trump. I was just wondering if you've had a chance to look at that. Does that interest you? Is there anything to that?
Can't say too much about that right now, except stay tuned. Short answer is yes. One of the problems I'm seeing, and we might test it again anyway, is that 4 years ago, when Texas and Indiana sued Pennsylvania and a couple other states for election interference because they changed the rules, they weren't counting ballots. A very similar suit went to the Supreme Court in December of 2020. So it was, Trump appeared to be losing, but he was still in office, and the Supreme Court didn't take the case. You see, when one state sues another state, you have under our Constitution a concept called original jurisdiction for the Supreme Court. So the case immediately goes to the Supreme Court, which would be great for justice in this Trump case for sure. It's just that there's some recent precedent saying that the Supreme Court says there's a lack of standing for the states to do this because they can't demonstrate enough damage, not enough election interference damage. So it was a very short order, very short opinion in December 2020, but I don't think it's a very good one for this current thinking. But we're still looking at it, and we still may try something along with Missouri. We're already talking with Missouri.
Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Your overall thoughts on what you saw at the Indiana GOP convention over last weekend?
Oh no, I'm very happy. I'm excited to be part of this unified ticket. I'm very happy for Micah. I think he's going to be a great asset in the State House, and I think this hand wringing and pearl clutching that's going on is just typical establishment stuff. If you haven't seen it yet, I just wrote a tweet on the Democrat convention. I have the pleasure of having two very radical, very liberal Democrat women who want to run against me. And so I'm asking them, now that it's summer, now that we're all wearing flip-flops, how do you feel about flip-flops? In terms of
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
No.
Hey,
by the way, I'm sorry I'm going to miss Beer Sample Friday. I understand the Watson's girls coming in, and that should be interesting.
You have an open invite. Whenever you're ready
the Attorney General you have an open invite to come participate. That'd look great on the cover of Indy Star, wouldn't it? Attorney General.
There's a reason I'm calling in today. I'm not in person. Okay?
Hey, so what's happening with the adult website thing and the verification? Is that happening?
Yeah. So here's the thing on that. It is reasonable. It's not just disclosure. Don't worry. I caught your guys' last segment, okay, or whatever, a couple segments ago. It's not the same as the record labels. That was disclosure. I think that's what's going on some of these websites right now. You disclose that, hey, this is just for 18 or older or whatever, and come on in. Well, so that would be the analogy to the record album thing, which I am old enough to remember. But what this law is saying, I think it's reasonable. It's in 6 or 7 other states already, with a good result in the appellate courts in those states. Good result for the statute is that no, you have to verify the porn company has to verify the person's age who's watching this stuff, who's looking at this stuff, who wants to get in, and that's not. There's technology to do that. Dating sites do that. Other sites do that. Same kind of thing, and it's not a hard thing to do. Plus, there's a protection in the law for the user. If that company keeps the data, if that company doesn't immediately erase that data, then first of all, I have a right of action against that company for violating the statute, and there's a private right of action for an individual that can go and sue as well and get attorney's fees and all that sort of thing. So the bottom line for this is that these porn companies who make a ton of money don't want to spend any of that money to put in this technology.
Because my argument on the other side of this, Attorney General, was that I don't trust these companies to not get hacked and have all of this information out there to be sold left and right.
True. That could happen. But unlike other situations, it could be a big payday for you. because they'd be in a lot of hot water.
We had a big win here in the state of Indiana in regards to Title IX and the changes that Joe Biden wanted to bring to that, having biological males compete against females. You had a big win recently in the courts. Tell me about it.
Yeah, we had a good week this week. I believe it was Monday. It's been a quick week already, but yeah, we got an injunction. So Biden wanted to, and his minions and the leftists that work with him wanted to upend Title IX through the rulemaking process. So don't go to Congress to try your craziness there. Let's just have some rules that say, men can be on girls' sports teams, men can be in girls' locker rooms, men can have to be called whatever pronoun they want, not what their biological sex suggests. And they try to do all this through Title IX. So Title IX was that decades old and from the 1970s that says, women have to be treated equal in school. They have to be treated equal in sports. They have to be treated equally in other things related to academia. And if a state wants federal money, they have to comply with Title IX. Well, no one in the 1970s could have foreseen this craziness. So one of the big arguments we made and so far have won on is that, look, the state of Indiana can't be penalized for getting our own money back from the federal government because of these crazy rules, which are in fact crazy. And you can't hold us to that contract from the 1970s by putting all these new requirements on that, again, don't make sense. So we won on that. We won on some free speech issues there. And now the case goes on. These leftists won't quit, but so far it was a good day. And in Indiana, at least in Indiana and the other states that joined with us, Tennessee, Kentucky, or some others, no school district has to comply with the Biden rules in order to get funding. So that's a good day. And don't let a school administration say, hey, the federal government requires us to do this because in Indiana, that's just not true.
The Attorney General for the state of Indiana, Todd Rokita. Todd, as always, we appreciate your time. And again, open seat whenever you're ready for Celebrity Beer Bong.
As soon as the election's over.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Okay.
Matt Bear standing by. He's got to look at the roads.
Westbound as 70 stop traffic from 465 into the north of Split, and that is a wait time right now of 41 minutes. Delay continuing on southbound 6570. Stop and go down to Raymond Street. Inbound 65 stop and go from MLK to a Meridian pad. East side northbound 465 crash in the express lane at East 71st. Left side of the express lane is blocked. We're moving but slowly. Traffic in that express lane stop to East 56. The main line is slow but unaffected by that crash. Looking at the north side, westbound 465 stop and go before Meridian past Michigan Road. On the south side, eastbound 465 slowing from 70 over to the White River, and again just a touch around US 31. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Attention Indy homeowners, is your cooling system ready for the heat? Don't sweat it. Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered with their special $89 cooling tune-up offer. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up next, a fun round of Is This Anything? Get ready to have a good time. It's a Beer Sample Friday today, and it's 90 degrees at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Real estate expert Mark Dietl deals with all kinds of situations, whether maybe you're looking to try to sell your home to upsize and expand, or maybe you're trying to downsize. Mark Dietl is the only person I'd trust with the sale of my home and to find me a new one. How about Dan and Casey in Indianapolis? They were ready to downsize, and they needed to sell quickly to make it all work. They needed to get a great price fast. Mark Dietl made it happen. They got their asking price fast without any repairs or an appraisal. The Mark Dietl team delivered exactly what they needed.
And what separates Mark Dietl from the competition is the guarantee. Mark Dietl, he guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That is a guarantee. That's a game changer. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. Call Mark Dietl today, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietl.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com.
Hey, Hammer, you want to retire one day, right?
The thing is, I don't want to just retire. I want to be able to afford to do all the things I want to do. I want to travel. I want to have fun.
But so, there's a lot of financial advisors on this station, but we only put our names on one of them, and that's Bill Demery, your retirement guy. He's right here in Indy.
We trust Bill Demery to help us break down all of the retirement issues and questions we have, and so do Kendall and Casey and Terry Stacy.
We trust Bill Demery, and you can too. Social Security, reducing taxes, generating income. These are the areas where Bill Demery could help your money go a lot further in retirement.
So call Bill Demery now, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. 648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning. Owner Robert Kirby says the American Standard brand is the best built on the market today, but there's more to it than that.
American Standard does a great job with a lot of training for our employees and everything, so we do a lot of extra training. I think that helps better the product too.
See the difference in quality and training at KirbyHeating.com. Located in Pittsboro, serving Hendricks and surrounding counties, Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
1 point, 1 swing, 1 tackle, 1 step. One trusted hospital system for orthopedic care. Franciscan Health's orthopedic, sports medicine, and rehabilitation teams offer state-of-the-art treatments, including total joint replacement, physical therapy, and the latest techniques and interventions for a variety of conditions, including arthritis and orthopedic sports-related injuries, keeping you in step, 1 step at a time. Find a full range of orthopedic care in one place. Go to franciscanhealth.org/orthocare.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold now.
Message and data rates may apply.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting and waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
This hour on WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, designers of fine custom jewelry.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
We already know how to play Is This Anything, so just hit me.
Dateline, Ohio. Specifically, Mason, Ohio, home of Kings Island. A 38-year-old Ohio man was critically injured after getting hit by a roller coaster called the Banshee while trying to retrieve his keys.
Oh, man.
I think he went in like a restricted area to try to get his keys back. Here's the police radio call while they were trying to deal with the injured person.
We're actually unsure what happened. Occurred near a roller coaster.
The patient is breathing, but not conscious. A severe head trauma.
I'm going to recommend they have a helicopter, CAT, UC, Westchester.
Man, your heart goes out to the guy and his family. I hope he's okay, but what are you doing, dude? It's what happened was he told employees that he needed to get back on the ride because he dropped something. What would you say it was his keys?
Keys, yeah.
And they said, like, you're not going to be able to do that until we close tonight. And he kind of lingered around. He was snuck into a fenced-in, restricted area to try to get them. A witness on the roller coaster said that it sounded like they hit a deer.
Oh, no.
Now, I'm not familiar with this roller coaster, but Ashley, you've been on this roller coaster at Kings Island.
First of all, who's Ashley?
Oh, I'm sorry, Allison.
Oh, my.
He's just Biden?
Ashley's my stepsister. Sorry. Allison.
Yeah, the Banshee is the one where it goes upside down and twists and inverts, and it goes fast. I mean, I can't imagine.
Yeah. What do you think, Hammer? I mean,
I don't know. What do you think, Kenny? Come on, Allison. You missed a big opportunity to call him by a different name, and you let it slip.
It's just too sad.
You're right. Okay. Biden moment. Sorry. I think this ivermectin that they put on my face is
It's getting to
affecting me.
I'm sorry, the what?
The ivermectin!
Thank you. Is this anything? A Florida man is being accused of throwing furniture off the roof of a high-rise in the middle of New York City. Here are some of the neighbors capturing the incident.
How can the building take this long?
I don't know. I'm on Citizen right now, hopefully. He's giving you the bird.
Yeah, that's something that's lucky somebody to get killed. Was it Morgan Wallen? Is he the one that was...
Is he on tour up in New York?
I love that it's a Florida man that's in New York City throwing furniture. Yeah, they arrested the guy. Burglary, reckless endangerment, criminal mischief, criminal trespass. And this is something, Hammer, where I think they should... This guy's probably out of jail by now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you could have killed somebody easily.
And the thing is, somebody woke up that day in New York. Now, they got a lot of crap that they're dealing with in New York anyway, but they probably didn't have it on their bingo card that walking down the street, you might have to avoid furniture being thrown off a high-rise to save your life. Like, if you wanted to, now, I'm not an attorney, obviously, but...
You're not?
You might be able to hit an attempted murder charge on this dude, because if you're throwing a chair or a table off of a high-rise... in hopes of hitting somebody on the ground, if you're nearby, what happened if somebody would have got hit? It probably would have been killed, right?
Yeah.
Man, ridiculous.
Yeah. Did you ever hear that myth? Like, when I was a kid, I heard, like, if you drop a penny off the World Trade Center, it would go so fast that if it hit somebody on the ground, it would instantaneously kill them.
I heard that.
Is that a myth, or is that a...
I think that's urban legend.
Type that in, Allison, if you can find out for us while we...
Yeah, Katie, go ahead and find that for us. We got time for one more?
Sure, why not?
Is this anything? An elementary school in Mississippi wanted to keep handing out free meals to kids this summer through a program called Backpack Buddies. But they didn't have enough food until a social media influencer named Matthew Bounds stepped in. He and his 1.4 million followers got all the donations the program needed within 15 minutes.
Hey.
Here he is talking about it.
So I asked Amy to put together a wish list, and this is a really easy list. I think this one's probably going to go in like 15 minutes. They literally did do it in 15 minutes. I mean, it was so fast. I think we replenished the list like 3 different times, and within minutes it was gone. And after about an hour, we were like, okay, we've got plenty.
One of the few good things about the internet are these kinds of stories. This guy... I think he's some cookbook author, but he's got,
So he's legitimately like famous, not just because he films himself eating Tide Pods.
Right. So, okay, don't cancel the internet. Don't cancel social media. A lot of times we talk. I'm like, I hate Twitter. I hate Facebook. It's all garbage. But this kind of makes up for it. This is the one redeeming quality of these social platforms, is that you can raise money just like that and get some hungry people some food.
Hey, Debbie, did you find any information on whether or not if you throw a penny off the World Trade Center back in the day, it was going to split your head in half?
Yeah, it's a myth. It is not true. It can hurt you, but can't cause fatal injuries.
Thank you, Melissa. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Nation Windows installed 16 windows in my house a few years back, and they still look fabulous. And by the way, they did it within a day. If you need new windows, if that cold air is seeping out and hot air is coming in, that air conditioner is working overtime, you better get a hold of Window Nation, because they've extended their semi-annual sale.
It's friggin' hot. That's what's happening outside, and this is why it's so important to have awesome windows, energy-efficient windows that keep the hot air outside and your AC inside. And Window Nation provides that. And right now, you can get those half off. 50% off all style of windows, 0% interest for 5 years. And if you make an appointment today, you'll get a bonus discount. All you got to do is call 866-90-NATION and just make an appointment to speak with somebody. 866-90-NATION, windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell is known for flavors that push the boundaries of taste. Our oatmeal cream pie ice cream is an oatmeal-flavored ice cream with hints of brown sugar mixed with soft oatmeal cookies and a vanilla icing swirl. We've set the bar sky high for deliciousness.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at Safeway Foods and Harvest Supermarkets.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Don't expect things to cool down much. It's 90 degrees, partly cloudy, currently over the circle. Nothing on radar. Temps to the lower 70s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:33. Temperatures could drop off some this weekend, but next week is looking like round 2 of the heat.
Monday, it'll get up there in the upper 90s for heat indexes, but next Tuesday, if there's going to be a day where we get over 100 for heat index, that looks to be the most likely of next week.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service says there's also some storm chances next week. He won't be getting out on good behavior. Javon Britton, who has been serving time in Terre Haute for crimes committed in Georgia, has been given nearly 2 more years behind bars after he was caught with a weapon while in prison. Britton had made a weapon out of a padlock and belt, which didn't make it past a metal detector. He had been originally arrested in 2015 for armed robbery. And 2 people were killed, 8 others shot outside of a grocery store in Arkansas this afternoon, about 70 miles south of Little Rock. Police say they have 1 person in custody. One of the people wounded is a police officer. They're still investigating. Louisiana passed a law this week requiring the 10 Commandments to be displayed in every public school classroom.
I think there are many schools in the state of Louisiana that are going to take advantage of this. And I think it is a step in a positive direction. It says that we understand where the foundation of laws are, and we are a nation of laws and not of men.
Governor Jeff Landry talking with Fox News. The ACLU of Louisiana says it's going to file a lawsuit against the bill, claiming it violates religious freedoms. It could be easier said than done to find an affordable place to live. Greenwood Mayor Mark Myers says he's trying to help out with his city adding more townhomes and apartments.
There are more going up along in the Center Grove area along State Road 135. You see townhomes around Stones Crossing on 135.
More housing projects could be coming to southern Greenwood, says Myers. He's talking with about 200 other mayors about the issue at the U.S. Conference of Mayors. And a look at the stocks to close the week. The Dow was up by 15 points to 39,150. The Nasdaq down by 32 to 17,689. Also down today, the S&P 500 slipping by 8 to 5,464. Traffic and weather in 1 minute. It's 4:35.
Close your eyes and picture it. The warm sun on your face. The sound of waves lapping against the shore. What if I told you that feeling of summer relaxation could be yours all year round? At Howard Bailey Financial, we specialize in retirement planning that lets you embrace that summer state of mind every day. Imagine knowing that your future is secure. With our expert advisors, we'll craft a personalized retirement plan tailored to your dreams. Whether it's traveling the world or pursuing your passions, we'll ensure that your retirement is as carefree and fulfilling as a relaxing summer afternoon. Embrace a summer state of mind and text SUMMER to 888-494-5004 to download our complimentary retirement toolkit and experience your retirement planning with confidence.
This endorsement was not provided by a client of Howard Bailey. This individual was compensated for this endorsement. For more information, visit howardbailey.com/TS1.
With traffic at 436, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, looking at westbound 70 from the east side. Stop traffic after Shadeland Avenue into the north. Split 38 minutes on the delay. And that continues to be stopped on southbound 65 70 from the north split down to the south split. Eastbound 70 stop and go from parts before Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. Inbound 65 is slow from West Street to Meridian Penn. And then looking at the north side, northbound 465 at East 71st. Crash in the express lane. Express lane open partially, blocked that express traffic stopped. Back to east of 56th Street. Serious crash on the east side, 56 at Arlington Avenue. 4 vehicles involved, one into a pole. Multiple ambulances have been deployed. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better hot tubs. 24-hour water filtration, purification, and aeration means better water quality. Natural minerals and Epsom salts means better relaxation. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Our Friday is going to be on the partly to mostly sunny side of things without much wind to help cool you down, and a high temperature getting pretty hot in the low 90s with feels-like temperatures reaching the mid to upper 90s in the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Sutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
It's the Hammer Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. It's Jason Hammer over there. Hammer, we had the story yesterday of a 14-year-old Indiana girl kidnapped by 5 illegal immigrants, got through the southern border. Obviously, it looked like they were trying to traffic her. Luckily, she was rescued. Don't hear much about the border anymore, except when it involves Joe Biden signing executive orders. For more on that, we'll go to Breitbart border reporter Randy Clark. Randy, how are you?
I am not bad today. How are you, gentlemen?
Randy, I haven't seen much about the border lately. There's still a crisis going on, correct?
Absolutely. But what you're not seeing is those large groups coming in single solitary events in Brownsville, Texas, in Eagle Pass, and in El Paso. You're not seeing that because we've been conditioned with what Mexico's doing during this election cycle to make that visual go away. But what you are seeing is 4,000 to 6,000 arriving at the border in a multitude of places, and the media is not there to cover it. A lot of that media, the personnel have left because it's just not a compelling story to wait 24 hours to see a few migrants cross here and a few there. But what this executive order in particular has done is it's numbed us to accepting, more than 2 million as the normal everyday pace. Because what you're not seeing is the 1,000 that are allowed under CBP 1 to enter in 7 different ports across the country every single day. And you're not seeing, that's 1,450. You're not seeing the 1,000 that are brought in through airports for Haitians, Venezuelans, Nicaraguans, and Cubans. Those folks, they're not being counted in any statistic. So if you add all of those together, what we see, the 4,000 to 6,000 per day crossing the border, there's been over 1.3 million since October. Then you add up the others, that whole total with an estimated 500 to 1,000 known gotaways a day, you're well over 2 million people entering this country, which is a record breaker that went back to 1986 when Joe Biden took office. So he's continuing to break his own records, but we're not seeing the visuals of it because they've opened the front door now.
Randy, Jason Hammer here, and you said the word statistic just a moment ago, and it reminded me of a story that Nigel and I talked about yesterday, how the mother of the murdered mom in Maryland was speaking, I think it was to Laura Ingraham on Fox, about how nobody from the Biden administration has reached out to her. Nobody will say her daughter's name. They just view her as a statistic. It's one thing to have a bad policy but it's another to have a complete lack of compassion. And it feels like we've seen this over and over again from the Biden administration, whether it's looking at the watch during the dignified transfer after the Afghanistan debacle, or what's happening now. Like, I feel like with the debate being next week and political cycles getting rolling, this is a great opportunity for the Republicans to just tell the truth. Don't get cute about it. Talk about what's really happening at the southern border. Do you buy that?
I completely buy that because I think this administration understands what they are about to assume ownership of because there are simple facts of the matter. The crime rate in Venezuela is going down. The murder rate in Venezuela has been progressively going down since 2018. Why? Because a significant portion of the population is left. And that's not to paint with a broad brush. They have one of the highest murder rates in the world. And it's hard to report on because the Maduro regime doesn't allow that. So we know we have admitted folks in from that country, tens and tens and tens of thousands of them this year alone. And they are improperly vetted because we don't have access to their databases. So if only 1% are capable of that, and the latest event that we saw in Houston with young Joshua Nungary, who was killed by two Venezuelans, potential gang members, we don't know that yet. A 21 and a 25-year-old together killed a 12-year-old child. Now, that's scary because that means there was an additional adult there, male, who did not stop the other. So I think the Biden administration knows they're going to own this eventually. They just don't want to own it now. And hopefully people will forget about this. But I'm telling you right now, as a 32-year law enforcement officer, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Lake and Riley, just the tip of the iceberg. Rachel Moore in Maryland, just the tip of the iceberg. We have imported from these highest crime rate countries thousands a day. And they are improperly vetted, and they're being released either through a program or right at the border.
Randy, what's your response when you hear people on the other side of the political aisle say, well, you're just handpicking a couple of examples here. You know, citizens commit way more crimes than those crossing the border illegally. What's your response when you hear that argument?
Well, my response is, of course, our citizens. You know, evil comes in every creed, color, race. That's an absolute fact. So I don't want to paint with a broad brush, but do you want the rest of the world's murderers and rapists and people that can commit crimes over there, do you want to take in those as well? Because it's a migratory population. These are folks that are transitory, that don't stick around. They're leaving my house on the border. They're headed towards you guys. So I have to be careful with what crosses today, but it's running when it passes my house if it isn't surrendering and getting released. Chicago's going to see this. Denver's going to see this. Los Angeles, Houston, Dallas, everywhere that we have a liberal-run city that is a sanctuary city that does not cooperate with ICE, you're going to see this happening more often in the future. And so, yes, I acknowledge that United States citizens and legal permanent residents commit crimes, but I think they commit enough crimes that we don't need other people committing crimes, even if it's just the 1%. Yeah. And we know studies across the globe have shown 1% of the population commits 63% of the violent crimes. So we have to be careful of that 1%. 1% of the 1.3 million that is crossed illegally right now, that's a lot of folks.
Randy Clark, a Border Patrol retiree. He also reports on the border for Breitbart here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Another scary number I'd like you to comment on is 194,000 known migrant gotaways under the Biden administration this year. That was a report, a headline on Breitbart. Maybe reset what a gotaway is for our audience and why that number is significant.
Well, the number is significant because it will not get reported and added unless there is some physical evidence that the entry occurred and the apprehension did not. And what that means is either through aerial platforms, static cameras, sensors, Border Patrol agents seeing footprints on the ground that they did not catch, that is a known gotaway. So we know that almost 200,000 since October have eluded apprehension. What we don't know is, was that all of them? Because we know we have had Border Patrol agents who are not able to patrol the border because they simply can't get away from these major crossing points. and the humanitarian effort that goes into dealing with 6,000, up to 6,000 right now, people showing up at our border unannounced every single day. So we don't have what it takes to know what the real number of gotaways is. That's just a smidgen. That is what the government is telling us. We absolutely know this to be a fact, and they rarely release that number.
Randy, tell us about Biden's border executive order. Has he signed it yet? What's in it? What's this all about?
He signed it, and basically what it says is that from a legal standpoint, if the crossings exceed 2,500 per day, for a set number of days, then he will determine that folks are not eligible to apply for asylum. But you have to realize that many of these folks already realize they cannot qualify for asylum. The mere claim is enough to get them the reward that they're seeking, which is into the United States. So this really right now is showing absolutely no results, and it will not show any in the future because there's no internal removal mechanism. Venezuela is no longer accepting their nationals after this latest fiasco in their elections with, putting an opposition leader in jail. They've now stopped their ties with us again. So we weren't doing it significantly. Venezuelans are still going to get released into the United States because it's either that or long-term incarceration, and it's not going to happen. We are not going to incarcerate those people for a length of time just for removal. Not this administration.
Randy, we got about a minute left here. So we've talked about a lot of the problems at the border. What would be a solution that could help immediately? Is there anything that Joe Biden could do tomorrow, today, that would have a positive impact on what's happening at the border?
I think he could go to his original executive order and begin to hit the delete button that he did on day one. If he reconstituted everything he destroyed from the prior administration, which was the Remain in Mexico, agreements to remove folks to the Northern Triangle countries, even when they had their asylum claims, we would let them go to a neighboring country that was safe or safer till they proved that they were qualified for asylum. If we did those things to discourage entry, if we detained folks and stopped catch and release, that immediately is in Biden's hands right now because he single-handedly did away with that. You would see the impacts almost immediately.
Find his work, Breitbart.com. He is Breitbart's border reporter, Randy Clark. Randy, thank you for all your years of service down there at the border, and we will talk to you soon.
Awesome. You folks have a good one.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My wife and I are making plans very soon to take the short trip down to Columbus to visit Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. We're looking for some new patio furniture, and right now it's their inventory reduction sale going on. Take up to 20% off the already low sale prices on in-stock goods, plus huge discounts on special orders from Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers, Pollywood, Berlin Gardens, and Lift Chairs. Guaranteed best price service and free delivery only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Tempur-Pedic mattresses that adjust, that have a massage feature, couches, love seats, tables, whatever you need for the homestead, Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. ThompsonFurniture.net. These guys support us and what we do here at the Hammer and Nigel Show, so please take care of these guys. Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
A slow network is no network for business. That's why more choose Comcast Business. And now we're introducing Ultimate Speed for Business, our fastest plans yet. We're up to 12 times faster than Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. And existing customers could even get up to triple the speeds at no additional cost. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability and advanced cybersecurity. It's Ultimate Speed from Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Don't miss out on our fastest speed plans yet. Get started with internet and security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add one unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Call 1-800-501-6000 or visit ComcastBusiness.com to switch today. In 6/23/24, restrictions apply. New customers only with 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. Eco-bill and auto-pay required. Equipment, tax, and fees extra. Compares Comcast Business 1.25 gig to 100 megabit per second 5G internet at Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. Up to 3 times downloads for existing essential and standard customers.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell has a great sense of timing, like bringing out Southern Blackberry Cobbler ice cream in time for summer. Rich ice cream with luscious blackberry flavor combined with flaky pie crust pieces and a blackberry swirl. The perfect summertime treat.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Pierce Jewelers is the best family-owned jewelry store in Carmel. All jewelry and watch repair, appraisals, and custom design are done in-house. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
The July 4th sale is on at Sundown Gardens in Westfield. 20% off trees and shrubs through July 3rd. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road, sundowngardens.com.
Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better. Come into any of our locations and make the salesperson prove the superiority of the Royal Spa product.
Royal Spa.
Matt Bear, I see a lot of people heading to Interstate 74. Red Sox down in Cincinnati tonight to take on the Reds. They don't go down there an awful lot, so sounds like 74 might be a little crowded.
74 looking pretty good right now, Hammer, especially with the closure. The southbound 465 is still on from 7265. That's going to start reopening here tonight. Westbound 70, however, stopped traffic from Shadeland Avenue into the north split. Delay continues down to the south split because we have a stalled dump truck blocking the left center lane in the south split right now, and that has us jammed again past Arlington to Shadeland. Serious crash east 56th Street at Arlington Avenue. That's 4 cars involved. One hit a pole. Ambulances are dispatched. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better hot tubs. 24-hour water filtration, purification, and aeration means better water quality. Natural minerals and Epsom salts means better relaxation. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
90 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, and less than an hour from right now, coming up at right around 5:45-ish, we will officially kickstart the weekend with Beer Sample Friday and Celebrity Beer Bong.
Yeah, Jen Eichler, the Watson's girl.
Oh, yeah.
Iconic spokeswoman for Watson's back in the day. Watson's they sold to Family Leisure, correct?
I believe they did, yes.
Is that the way? We can ask her about that. I'd like to know her status, her
relationship status?
Relationship status. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, how do you approach somebody like the Watson's girl and ask her out on a date? You can have some balls on you.
Now, if you're our age, around 45, 46, Gen X, like, you remember those commercials on all the time.
Tanning beds were my favorite.
It's hot, you need a pool, and she would be in the pool, and all was right with the world at that point. So she's going to be on the Celebrity Beer Bong that we've got coming up here a little less than an hour from right now. But until then, we got a lot of fun to have. We'll have an update on a big Supreme Court ruling. We're going to play a round of Are You Okay With This? And, of course, kicking off the weekend with Beer Sample Friday. Come on back.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 12 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
My husband, Bob, has Parkinson's, and he needs more help now, and I need more support to help him. Thanks to Indiana Pathways for Aging, we're getting the support we need to help him right here at home, like with meal prep and basic personal care, and even respite support for me.
Pathways provides Hoosier Medicaid members, age 60 and over, support for care their way, so they can live life their way. To learn more, eligible members call 87 Pathway 4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Nameless Catering celebrates 10 years of business this summer. A lean beginning with just $500 in startup cash and a 200-square-foot kitchen in Fountain Square, Nameless Catering has grown to be one of the biggest and best caterers in Indiana, serving weddings and events from 30 guests and on up to 30,000. Nameless Catering can handle it all. Reliability, great communication, and exceptional food keep Hoosiers coming back again and again. Check out namelesscatering.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188.
Hulu is coming in hot this month with new shows, new movies, and all new seasons of your faves. Don't miss FX Clip, the story of one NBA team's racial reckoning starring Lawrence Fishburne. Stream a new season of Shore Seat, the underground hockey comedy that just might knock your teeth out. Then catch the high-speed drama Ferrari, starring Adam Driver and Penelope Cruz. Kick your streaming into high gear this month with so much new stuff to watch on Hulu.
Hi, it's T. Brian Hayes here from the Retirement Money Matters Show. It is time for our question and answer show for June, and we have many great questions to answer, including one about new RMD rules for this year, another one on how to protect your retirement plan from inflation and higher prices, and another on how to invest retirement dollars in a high-risk market. Find out the answer to these questions and many more on the Retirement Money Matters Show, which airs this Saturday morning at 6 a.m. right here on WIBC.
Coming up in 2 minutes, why you won't want to scale back your air conditioner for a while. Ryan Hedrick reports on a man caught by Bloomington police after spending 3 years on the run, and why Greenwood's mayor is spending some time in Missouri this week. That's all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
A deadly mass shooting in a small town. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. It happened in Arkansas when someone opened fire at a grocery store in Fordyce, south of Little Rock.
Arkansas State Police confirm that they responded to a shooting around 11:30 a.m. Central Time at the Mad Butcher grocery store. They confirm that 7 civilians were shot. 2 of those people are now dead. There was also 1 law enforcement officer who was shot.
Fox's Madison Scarpino, the suspect, was critically injured after being shot by police. No word yet on a motive. The U.S. Supreme Court rules in favor of a law that bans people under a domestic violence order from having access to a gun.
When they've been found by a court to pose a credible threat to the physical safety of another, that individual may be temporarily disarmed consistent with the Second Amendment. The court is saying essentially there can be times in which Second Amendment rights can be infringed.
Fox's Shannon Bream. In that 8-1 decision, only Justice Clarence Thomas dissented. The ruling reverses a federal appeals court decision that struck down the law. The Republican Party chair undaunted by new Fox poll results, giving President Biden his first lead over former President Trump in months, though the 2-point edge in a head-to-head matchup is within the poll's margin of error.
The fact is that this election is going to come down to a question of strength versus weakness.
RNC Chair Michael Whatley telling Fox News.
And what we saw during President Trump's 4 years was a record of success, a record of strength. What we have seen during Joe Biden's 4 years is a record of weakness and failure.
Vice President Kamala Harris criticizing the former president and Republicans in general.
They're working from a playbook to attack freedoms, to spread hate, to divide our country.
Speaking at a union conference in D.C. while President Biden is at Camp David prepping for a CNN presidential debate. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's still going to be hot. A split of clouds and sunshine downtown, 90 degrees. No need to check the radar. There's no signs of rain at the moment. 73, your low tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. The need for your air conditioner is still going to be there.
So we're looking at a high temp still in the mid-90s for both today and tomorrow.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says storms are also possible Saturday night and into Sunday. Next week, it's going to be hot. Heat indexes could have reached the triple digits. After almost 3 years, the police have finally arrested someone in the case of a man who escaped from the hospital. Ryan Hedrick reports.
O'Shawn McCullough was driving his car more than 100 miles an hour when he was being chased by the cops in 2021. The chase went through several counties and eventually ended when the car McCullough was driving collided with another car. He had to be flown to the hospital and was placed in a medically induced coma, but when he woke up, he escaped. The cops found him at a home this week. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Over 200 mayors are meeting this week. The United States Conference of Mayors in Missouri. One of them is Greenwood Mayor Mark Myers.
We work to try to find resolutions that we can present to the Congress that'll help better serve our community.
He says they're talking about issues like public safety, transportation, and housing. The conference wraps up Sunday. Heading to court again, Kurt Darling reports on yet another legal battle between the city of Noblesville and a business they claim is a sex shop.
You may remember the store My Inner Baby. They sell adult diapers for people with medical issues, but also
we have adult-sized pacifiers and a lot of clothing, bodysuits, similar to a onesie.
All that is why Noblesville says they're a sex shop, putting them in violation of city ordinance. They sued Polikoff 2 years ago and forced him to close, but Polikoff has since reopened his store in a new location, and the city is once again suing. They say Polikoff is deliberately disregarding the results of the previous lawsuit. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-611-5252. 800-611-5252. 800-611-5252.
And with a look at the roads on the fives at 5:05, here's Matt Baird.
All right, Harrison, we were in the South Split, southbound 6570 stalled dump truck. It just moved out of the left center lane, so hopefully We can start clearing out a little bit. In the meantime, traffic still stopped into the north split, and westbound 70 is miserable coming in from Shadeland Avenue to the north split. Right now, that delay is running 36 minutes. Northbound 465 on the northeast side. It's a crash in the express lane. The express lane is open. It is partially blocked, stopping that traffic back to East 56th Street. The main line unaffected, but that's going to be slow. Looking at westbound 465 north side, stop and go traffic before Meridian over to Michigan Road. Crash east side serious. 4 vehicles, 1 into a pole. Ambulances were dispatched. Also looking at eastbound 70 slow to downtown from Belmont, and inbound 65 stop and go 21st to the north split. Traffic sponsored by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Train Heating and Cooling Systems are engineered to keep up with you. They run together. Visit tradeinfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Our Friday is going to be on the partly to mostly sunny side of things without much wind to help cool you down, and a high temperature getting pretty hot in the low 90s with feels-like temperatures reaching the mid to upper 90s in the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Artutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock!
Well, Hammer, I don't know. Should we just get right into it?
Light this candle, my friend.
Let's do some legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff. Big decision at the Supreme Court today involving the Second Amendment. In an 8-1 opinion, the Supreme Court says that it's not unconstitutional to disarm people who pose a credible threat to others. The Supreme Court upheld a federal law that bans guns for those subject to domestic violence restraining orders. This is a big test for the First Amendment. This is something that Guy Relford has been talking about for a long time on our show when he joins us on Monday, the Rahimi case.
We'll get his reaction Monday when he comes in for his weekly hit, but I don't know. I tend to agree with this. I know Guy predicted this outcome, by the way.
He did.
He's a Second Amendment lawyer. He's a Second Amendment guy, but like if you are kind of a known violent domestic, you've been arrested for domestic violence, you probably shouldn't have access to. Now, look.
It's the basis of the red flag laws, really.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, well, I'm interested to see what Guy has to say about this, whether or not he fully agrees with this, or maybe, there's degrees to which you can agree with a ruling, something like this. There's a sort of gray area here with this case that I'm just not sure about.
Right. So the gray area that you talk about is with the Second Amendment of the Constitution, the whole shall not be infringed thing. But
he just said you're kind of infringing. There's certain instances where you're not convicted of a felony, you haven't been on trial yet.
Right.
But this goes back to the red flag laws as well.
Correct. This was 8-1. The only one that went the other way, the dissenter, was Clarence Thomas. Chief Justice Roberts, was the one tasked with writing the official opinion. Quote, "We conclude only this. An individual found by a court to pose a credible threat to the physical safety of another may be temporarily disarmed consistent with the Second Amendment." Now, to me, the key word there was temporarily, not permanently, but temporarily. So maybe once all the legal stuff runs its course, Rahimi or whoever the case may be can get their weapon back.
Yeah, I'm not really as concerned with this opinion as I am Trump immunity, which they haven't talked about or ruled on yet in regards to deranged prosecutor Jack Smith and the classified documents case, in which Trump's lawyers are saying he's immune from all this stuff because when it all went down, he was president.
And the Supreme Court's also sitting on an opinion on big tech censorship.
Oh, yeah.
Like what happened during the last presidential cycle where Facebook and Twitter and pretty much every social media platform was censoring conservatives if they thought Hunter Biden's laptop was real. So they have an opinion due on that. And again, we can't stress this enough. They don't have to put an opinion out on anything.
They don't. Do you think, like, sometimes when they don't put an opinion out and they kick it back down to the courts or they just punt, do you think, like, it's like Kavanaugh just going, nah.
Cracks open a cold one.
I don't think we'll do this one.
I got tickets to the Nationals tonight. Just kick it back down to the circuit court. Kavanaugh, out! Woo! I can see Brett Kavanaugh leaving a room with a woo! Doing some legal stuff here. Former President Donald Trump calling on the Georgia Court of Appeals to reject Fulton County, Georgia DA Fannie Willis,
Big Fat Fannie,
her effort to dismiss his appeal of the judge's decision to not kick her off of this election interference case.
It's I'm sorry to correct you, but it's Fawny.
You know what? Of all the things going on with this case, you would think that Fawny, don't call me Fanny, would be really concerned with, like, the meat and potatoes of this.
Oh, she corrects. Oh, yeah, she talks about the fact that everybody calls her Fanny all the time.
See, I'm so tired of hearing these idiots call my name as Fanny in a way to attempt to humiliate me. Because, like silly schoolboys, the name reminds them of a woman's rear.
All right.
That's what you're concerned with?
I'm throwing my challenge flag out here, Nigel. I'm throwing my challenge flag in my referee voice. After further review, the call is confirmed. It is funny to call her Fanny. Big Fat Fanny. Ice Cube had it right, and today was a good day. And if any name was appropriate to her, it would be that. Now, for those who don't remember, Big Fat Fanny was allowed to stay on the case after the judge declined to disqualify her, despite the fact that the court found her, quote, significant appearance of impropriety stemming in the case, which is fancy talk for she was stooping her assistant and the state of Georgia was paying for it.
Yeah, exactly. They went on lavish vacations with money that he was getting paid for through her, through the office. I mean, it was stemming from that romantic relationship in her top prosecutor that she assigned to the case.
But wouldn't you think she'd be more concerned about the former president of the United States and, depending on the poll you see, the front runner, in your state, compared to people like me who call her Big Fat Fanny?
Nope. As with the clip you just played, can you play that clip again? That was hilarious. This is Fannie Willis.
See, I'm so tired of hearing these idiots call my name as Fanny in a way to attempt to humiliate me. Because, like silly schoolboys,
like
the
me,
name reminds them of a woman's rear.
It sure does.
You're sure spot on with that. If you've ever been right about anything, Fanny, it's that. And by the way, it's Fanny. All right? Stop with the Fawny stuff.
Fawny.
It's like somebody with the last name of Asswipe asking it be called Osweepe. Stop it. Stop it. Matt Baer. Matt Baer, please.
Yes, we're looking at northbound 465 on the northeast side. Crash in the express lane partially blocked and traffic stopped back to Penn Pike. Inbound 70 stop traffic, Shadeland Avenue into 465. That is a delay of 34 minutes. The stalled dump truck cleared in the south, a split on southbound 6570, still stop and go back to the north split. Traffic sponsored by Staples Stores. Your local Staples store has hot deals on everything from technology to print and marketing services. Save more with the new Easy Rewards program. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Fawny. No, it's Fanny.
With an H.
And here to weigh in on all of this drama going on in the state of Georgia with Don't call me Fannie Willis. Here is AI Donald Trump.
Big fat Fanny. She's a fat pig. She's a crook. Her and her great lover should be locked up. Big fat Fanny ripping off the fine people in Georgia. She's having fat sex. It's really sad.
AI Donald Trump.
What is fat sex?
Well,
what?
It's a lot more cushion, a little less pushing, if I had to describe it. 91 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Are you okay with this next?
If you're looking for a deal that cannot be beat, get over to the friendliest folks you'll ever meet. Hey, it rhymed. Andy Moore Ford. The commercial truck center is currently undergoing big changes, which means bigger and better things for you coming soon. Stop by today, right there on Main Street in Plainfield, and get more savings, more selection, and more for your trade only at Andy Moore Ford. You're going to love it, and you'll see why other drivers love it too. You're ready to go electric vehicle? Andy Moore Ford is the EV headquarters. Check out the Mustang Mach-E, the E-Transit, and that F-150 Lightning, all in stock with more arriving daily. And say hello to more rebates, federal and state incentives. You could save more on your EV purchase. Plus, with updated federal regulations, you can claim up to $7,500 instantly on site. We're talking about saving more with Andy Moore Ford. Your next car, your next truck. Talk to them about service as well and your electric vehicle. 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield or online at Andy Moore, M-O-H-R. AndyMooreFord.com.
Lynn just loves the summer in Indy, but she's not going to spend it painting. She called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint, it's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came, and we discussed what we wanted done. And this time, we had the roof done as well.
Now you can have the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price.
Even the people that have been a little younger than us have said they don't have to worry about getting just an everyday painter because Rhino Shield has the 25-year warranty, and we truly believe in this product.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino!
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield. With Tire Discounter's new TD Chat BS, we can detect deception over the phone. Let's call a typical tire store.
Yellow, cheapo tire where we bolt them on for less.
Yes, I am in need of tires and lubricant for my vehicle.
Great! Come on in, we'll slap on some new tires.
And what about the lubricant exchange?
Oh, yeah! We send you over to Ollie's Oil for that.
Location?
They're right down the road. I can almost see them from here.
Deception. Destination is 5.2 miles away.
Well, I'll be.
I may also need braking analysis.
Oh, Bert's Brakes will take good care of you.
Calculating. Time and distance for 2 additional trips.
You mean you want to do tires, oil change, and brakes all in one fell swoop?
Exactly. I observe that Tire Discounters is close by.
Ugh, Tire Discounters.
And they are experts at oil changes, brakes, shocks, and...
I'm losing you.
Hello? I'm sorry. Your system has crashed.
Stop in today for Savor the Summer Savings.
JMV here. Miss M's Home and Garden is excited to help you celebrate July the 4th in style. The Garden Center is bursting with great annuals, home decor, trees, shrubs, and more. You have to shop the July the 4th sale. 20% off patio furniture, container trees, and shrubs now through July the 3rd. That's right, 20% off container trees, shrubs, and all patio furniture. Miss M's wants to help you have the best looking outdoor space around. Miss M's on State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville, closed on July the 4th.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Thinning hair? This year, grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com.
This hour on WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Are you really okay?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Hammer, a guy in Florida, found a bank's doors unlocked and decided to rob the place. He went through some drawers, but couldn't find any money, so he didn't end up actually stealing anything, but still facing burglary charges. Here is the county sheriff's office, the chief deputy talking about why the doors were left open after hours.
We don't know whether at noon when the bank employees left, if they accidentally left it unlocked. We don't know if a cleaning crew came after the fact and left it unlocked. We don't know.
But he's still being charged with burglary. Are you okay with this?
So, again, can't stress this enough. I'm not a lawyer, but Guy Relford, he and I talked about something similar to this last week. There was a story of where some guy was going to go in and rob a bank at gunpoint. Now, he had a gun. He went up to the teller and said, "Please give me all your money." He didn't point the gun at anybody. But then halfway through, he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, this is the wrong bank," and he left. So maybe a lawyer can chime in here. That guy technically didn't break any laws. He simply asked the question, "Can I have your money?" It wasn't a threatening, gun in your face, turn sideways, give me all your bleeping money or I'm going to blow your head off. So I'm wondering if this is kind of the same thing.
You can't prove it. Can you prove intent with a story like that? Like,
see, that's the thing. I don't think you can prove intent. Now, the first question is, why would you walk into a bank after hours? What's your goal? What did you think was going to happen here?
Yeah.
But maybe he was looking for the bathroom. Maybe he was looking for directions. He needed somebody to talk to. Maybe he felt threatened, and this was a first place that had the doors unlocked.
Does he not understand that, like, when banks close and you just happen upon an unlocked door when they close, like everything's locked up inside, though? You know what I mean? They don't leave stacks of 100 just laying around, even when they're open. You're not going to be able to get the teller's drawer open,
right,
if you walk in there after hours.
And you're not getting into that safe. Like Billy Bob Thornton in Bad Santa, he was the best person I know at breaking into big safes like that. And even he had a hard problem, trying to figure out the way to get in at the end of the movie. So, you know what? I think I'm okay with this. After further review, I think I'm okay with this because I think you can get a good legal dispute on both sides of the aisle.
According to the New York Post, ESPN reached out and offered Stephen A. Smith, the face of the franchise there at ESPN, a 5-year, $90 million deal.
Quite frankly, that's a lot of damn money.
Paying out $18 million per year. Stephen A. Smith, via his agent, are seeking a deal worth $25 million per year. That's way off. Are you okay with this? That's $25 million per year versus $18 million a year. I'm sorry, that is a little, there's some distance there.
Right. And I think ultimately they're probably going to meet in the middle somewhere. But the reason I'm okay with this is not because I think one person who talks about sports on TV is worth $20+ million a year, but take whatever you can get from companies. Because I promise you this, they will take whatever they can from you. And Nigel, you and I one day, we're probably going to get fired from this place. It's the nature of the beast. That's radio, right? You've been fired before. Yeah. I've been fired before.
Laid off. I've never been
You've
for
been canned. And that's how we kind of started the Hammer and Nigel show. We were both fired. We were laid off. We were not doing radio. You were doing like logistics.
Yep.
I was doing casino stuff. And we started this podcast because this is kind of a passion for us. And then it grew from there. So I'm telling you, whether it's $25 million for Stephen A. Smith, or maybe you're the forklift driver at your factory, take whatever you can get from these people, because I promise you, they don't give a you-know-what about you. They will fire you tomorrow with your wife 9 months pregnant.
They will. My prediction is, and I see your point, but I think they will end up paying him and just firing other talent and producers and things like that. Hell, it's going to be Stephen A. Smith, Pat McAfee, and that's it.
Right. That's it. I mean, they're going to have to host Sports Center. They're going to have to do everything. First Take, the Pat McAfee Show, College Game Day. It's all going to be just those two guys.
Students in Boston, school students, are getting an early start on summer vacation thanks to the Celtics. Public schools there bumped the last day of school to yesterday because of the Celtics victory parade. They won the NBA championship. Are you okay with this? They said, I guess the superintendent said there's no safe and reliable way to transport our students while this parade's going on.
Okay, so the big parade, the championship parade in Boston, was going to close all the streets and they couldn't operate the schools. That's fine. Who is still in school at this point? That's my question. Here we are on June 21st, and I get some schools have an unbalanced calendar. I think Beech Grove is one of the schools where my kids go. My youngest goes. They have an unbalanced calendar where, you got 2 weeks off at, spring break, 2 weeks off at fall break and things like that. But my God, June 21st, You're still in school? That sucks.
They're making up for lost COVID time. They kept them out of school so long. They say, hey, you got to go all year round now.
I guess. So, yeah, I'm okay with this. And the only thing that I'm concerned about, though, is, let's be honest, the people in Boston, those mass holes, as they're known as, Boston, Massachusetts, the mass holes, they can't afford to be missing any more school. You don't need any more Wahlberg brothers.
What are you trying to say?
You don't need any more Affleck brothers out there. Listen, as talented as they are, they're all dumber than a box of rocks. So you should probably have as much schooling as you can, but can you imagine how bad it would suck to be in school right now?
Awful. All right, finally, Luke Combs, country music superstar, got really emotional in an interview when he was talking about missing the birth of his second son.
I had a text from my wife, and it said, I'm so sorry. I really tried to not have the baby while you were gone. He was born on August 15th in the States. I got to see him be born, which was awesome. He wasn't born yet, but my wife went, she texted me on the way to the hospital, and he was 2.5 weeks early, and I was supposed to be home, and I wasn't. And that was real hard.
So he was on tour in Australia at the time. And are you okay with all the emotion, or is this like come with the territory when you're a superstar and things like this happen?
I'm actually both. Like, I'm okay and I'm not okay. I'm okay because he's a human. He's a man. It's emotional when your wife gives birth. I'm not okay because why would you schedule Australia that close to the birth of your child? Yeah, it's not like he was in, L.A. or New York and had to just get a quick flight back to Nashville or wherever he lives to be with his wife. I mean, I don't know if my wife, if I were super successful, if I were Luke Combs, I think my wife would say, you know what? I'm not real comfortable with you being in Australia so close to the birth of our child here. But with Luke Combs, I will say, fewer things make me smile more than when he sings Long Neck Ice Cold Beer Never Broke My Heart. That's what we use to wrap up Beer Sample Friday, which is coming up here in just about 15 minutes. Man, we're having a good time today. We got some booze news coming up next. Jen Eichler, the Watson's girl on Celebrity Beer Bong. That's on the way approximately 5:45 right now. Harrison Silcox. Now, real quick, Harrison, I've heard people call you Harry. Which do you prefer, Harrison or Harry?
On the air, it's Harrison. I just think it sounds better. But off the air, it's Harry for my friends. So you guys, I'm still not sure yet if I'm going to give you permission to go by Harry. But
how about we just call you Harry Haircox?
Harry Haircox. Well, that's worse than Harrison Newscox. I actually like that. If you put that on a T-shirt, I would buy it.
Harrison Newscox has a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Some rain would certainly help. 90 degrees with a few clouds over the circle. The radar's clear, low is 73 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. Some rain could accompany the heat this weekend, says Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service.
Yeah, there could be some marginally severe weather for Sunday and Saturday nights, but we're not looking at widespread severe threat for either of those days.
Updike says there could be some stronger storms next Tuesday. Heat index values could also hit the triple digits then. There was a fatal shooting in Arkansas this morning. Fox's Jack Callahan reports.
Evidence markers litter the parking lot outside a grocery store in Fordyce, Arkansas, a small town about an hour's drive south of Little Rock. The shooting started late this morning. When it ended, 2 people were dead, 8 others injured, including a law enforcement officer whose injuries are reported as non-life-threatening. Arkansas State Police say a shooter was shot and critically wounded by responding officers. Police are still sorting out the who and the why. Jack Callahan, Fox News.
Louisiana passed a law this week requiring the 10 Commandments to be displayed in every public school classroom.
We just believe that displaying historical documents, especially something that is as important as the 10 Commandments. Look, when the Supreme Court meets, the doors of the Supreme Court on the backside have the 10 Commandments.
The ACLU of Louisiana announced it would file a lawsuit against the bill, claiming the measure violates religious freedom rights provided by the First Amendment. Collaboration is part of what's going on at the United States Conference of Mayors in Missouri this week. John Hiverick reports that Greenwood Mayor Mark Myers is there.
Myers says mayors from other cities have helped him make sure that his city gets much-needed money from the federal government.
There's a lot of federal money out there that other municipalities are getting, and we're sharing information on how we can all be a part of that and get that money and bring it back home to our community where it belongs.
He says, among other things, housing and infrastructure were brought up, and Myers says Greenwood is adding more of that. The conference wraps up on Sunday. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
With traffic at 5:32, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, looking at the east side, westbound 19 minutes after Shadeland Avenue into the north split, and then we're stop and go down to Raymond Street. Inbound 65, slow around west into Meridian Penn. East side northbound 465, slow at Penn Pike, then stop and go 69 past Allisonville Road. Westbound 465 continues to be slow from Carmel 31 over past Michigan Road. Crash east side Shadeland Avenue at Washington Street. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better hot tubs. 24-hour water filtration, purification, and aeration means better water quality. Natural minerals and Epsom salts means better relaxation. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Our Friday is going to be on the partly to mostly sunny side of things without much wind to help cool you down, and a high temperature getting pretty hot in the low 90s with feels like temperatures reaching the mid to upper 90s in the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Sutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You set him up and I'll knock him back, Lloyd. 1 by 1.
We are gonna read Booze News, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Nigel presents
Booze News, Booze News. Time for Booze News. Yeah, time for our daily DUI update on Justin Timberlake.
Oh, God.
So, what was it, earlier this week or over the weekend, Justin Timberlake got pulled over for DUI in the Hamptons. He said he just had one martini or something like that. And apparently, according to quote-unquote sources, he's feeling remorseful, humiliated, and regretful after the arrest. Quote, this is a quote from the source. He hasn't made an official statement yet. The situation has taken a toll on him, but he's trying to view it as a way that he can reset himself. He does his best to set a positive example for himself, Jessica Biel, his family, and the public, and will continue to try to learn and grow. He's taking this seriously, recognizes how it can impact his family dynamic as a husband and a father, and his fans do.
First of all, didn't he already run around on Jessica Biel?
He was pictured with a co-star on a not on the set, but like kind of canoodling, maybe holding hands, but he claims that nothing sexual ever happened.
Sure.
But there's pictures of him holding hands after having too many drinks. Like, I think that happened in New Orleans or something.
And second of all here, remember when there was a public service announcement that used to air on all the TV stations, and it was the band members from NSYNC, and they go up to this dad's door. They knock on the door, and they say, hey, we're here to talk about drinking and driving.
Yeah.
And the daughter's upstairs, and she doesn't know that it's happening. That public service announcement starting to make its way around social media again because it just shows Justin's full of crap.
Well, it's more. I don't think it mentions drinking and driving. It's like, hey, we're in sync. Have you talked to your kids about drinking? And which kind of makes me feel bad because it's like I have my 12-year-old get me beers out of the beer fridge all the time. You know what I mean? So I watched that today and I was like, oh, well, maybe I should have a conversation with. Nobody ever had conversations with me about drinking.
Kind of feel bad that my oldest has a bar in his house. And
Oh, I told you a few years ago, if me and my neighbors are hanging out and the kids disappeared, they come back with a half-gallon of Fireball and 4 shot glasses. They were just
trying to make you happy.
They were hanging out in my backyard. I come back into our garage, and there's a chair next to the beer fridge because they had to stand up and get it out of the freezer. I go, oh, no, what have we done?
They know they can get away with something in the future if they bring you Fireball now.
No, yeah, okay. And just to be clear, they weren't drinking it.
No.
Nobody, but they, just the very fact that they brought us shot glasses and Fireball. Ugh, I don't know. I'm president. I don't know.
Doing some booze news here. There was a retail theft that was reported at the Shell station in Polk County, Florida.
Oh, no. Grady Judd territory, right?
Damn right. The best sheriff in America, Grady Judd, down in Polk County. Now, the store reported that a man had stolen 4 24-ounce cans of Modelo.
Oh, man. I got some Modelo in the fridge.
According to the sales clerk, the suspect walked out of the store with the beer and immediately began drinking one of the beers. The clerk in the police report described the interaction between the two men.
Okay.
So here's what we're going to do now. Based on the information in this police report, Nigel, you're going to play the suspect.
Okay.
And I will play the clerk. This is a little Hammer and Nigel theater, a reenactment. Again, I'm the clerk, you're the suspect. Where did you get that beer from?
Got it from the store.
Did you pay for it?
No, I didn't pay for it. I stole it.
If you would just go ahead and pay for it, there wouldn't be no problems.
No.
At this point, the clerk grabs the beer from the suspect, tells him to leave. The suspect opens another stolen Modelo.
I don't want to leave. I'd rather just go to jail.
And scene. There it is. Little Hammer and Nigel theater for you.
Oh, man. So the guy, rather than give the beer back or pay for it, said he cracked another one open and said, nah, I'd just rather go to jail. And so be it. The police came and got him.
Which brings us to great moments in Sheriff Grady Judd Polk County history. Ladies and gentlemen, Grady Judd.
But if you come to a school in this county armed, we're going to do our best through either our guardians, our school resource officers, or our school resource deputy sheriffs to eliminate the threat outside of the school before they ever get to the children. We're trained to do that. Now, if you have trouble understanding that, let me give it to you in Polk County vernacular. This is the last thing you'll see before we put a bullet through your head.
Holding up a gun.
If you're trying to hurt our children. We are going to shoot you graveyard dead if you come onto a campus with a gun, threatening our children or shooting at us.
Graveyard dead.
I love that term.
One more great moment in Sheriff Grady Judd history down in Polk County, Florida. I think there was a hurricane that took place and people were looting the stores. Ladies and gentlemen, Grady Judd.
But we have received information in social media that some of the criminals were going to take their criminal conduct into the neighborhoods. I would tell them, if you value your life, you probably shouldn't do that in Polk County, because the people of Polk County like guns. They have guns. I encourage them to own guns, and they're going to be in their homes tonight with their guns loaded. And if you try to break into their homes to steal, to set fires, I'm highly recommending they blow you back out of the house with their guns.
Yeah, I love that dude. Sheriff Grady Judd down in Polk County, Florida. Booze news, one more here, Nigel. A truck in Virginia carrying 40,000 pounds of beer got into an accident and caught fire on I-95.
Wow.
It's bad enough to be stuck in traffic, but then when you see all that innocent beer being destroyed.
What a waste.
Like, why couldn't that have been the items for the Views merch store? Why couldn't that have been like Joy Behar t-shirts or Whoopi Goldberg t-shirts all burning up? Come on. It is summertime, so I feel like since this is booze news, this would be an appropriate lesson for a lot of people to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, the First Lady of WIBC, Terry Stacy.
And now, Hammer and Nigel present Summer Safety with Terry Stacy.
The very best way to beat the heat on a hot summer day is by pouring 40 ounces of Old Milwaukee right down the front of your underpants.
Summer Safety with Terry Stacy.
Damn right. You haven't lived until you've poured a little Old Milwaukee down the front of your drawers. All right, we're going to take a little time out here, and when we come back, we're going to have a conversation with our special guest, Jennifer Eichler, best known as the Watson's girl from those commercials years ago.
Are we sure she's here?
Oh, she's here. I met her in the lobby. She looks hot, got a cool little leopard dress on today.
Wow, classy.
So we're going to bring her in studio. We'll kind of get up to date with what's going on, and then she's going to do the celebrity beer bong.
Okay.
So get to the YouTube, WIBC's YouTube channel. We'll stream it live. That is coming up next.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore, no matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 12 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During our Freedom to Drive, visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Hey, Hammer, you want to retire one day, right?
The thing is, I don't want to just retire. I want to be able to afford to do all the things I want to do. I want to travel. I want to have fun.
But so, there's a lot of financial advisors on this station, but we only put our names on one of them, and that's Bill Demery, your retirement guy. He's right here in Indy.
We trust Bill Demery to help us break down all of the retirement issues and questions we have, and so do Kendall and Casey and Terry Stacy.
We trust Bill Demery, and you can too. Social Security, reducing taxes, generating income. These are the areas where Bill Demery could help your money go a lot further in retirement.
So call Bill Demery now, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. 648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Whatever happened to Tony Horton, the guy who created the revolutionary P90X?
2017, I was knocked down. A very rare type of shingles that went straight into my brain. My body was completely wasting away. I started researching everything related to building my muscle back again. That's when I learned about the potential of HMB plus vitamin D3 and what they can do when it comes to helping build new muscle.
So Tony developed high-impact protein by Power Life.
Just add 1 scoop of high-impact protein to a glass of water or your morning smoothie and enjoy the effects of that boss molecule and factory worker combination. Reshaping your body each and every day. More energy, burn more fat, and probably drop a few pounds along the way.
High-impact protein by Power Life is a tasty once-a-day powder that comes in either whey or plant protein. Go to mypowerlife.com and use code TONE to save 30%. Tony even offers a 90-day guarantee. Go to mypowerlife.com or text TONE to 511-511. Text TONE to 511-511 today. All individuals are unique. Your results can and will vary. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Your local Staples store has hot deals on everything from technology to print and marketing services. Save more with the new Easy Rewards program.
Buying a diamond has changed. There are mined and lab-grown diamonds. Pierce Jewelers carries both. Pierce can educate you and save your hard-earned money. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Head to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Oak Ridge Boys, Saturday, June 29th at Old National Center.
More info online at WIBC.com.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
Westbound 70 stop traffic after Shadeland into the north split. That's 28 minutes. Southbound 65-70 drags down to Fletcher, and then it opens up after that. Vehicle fire, 38th Street, Washington Boulevard. Also a crash, Shadeland Avenue at Washington Street. Northbound 37 jammed up Epler to 465 because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better hot tubs. 24-hour water filtration, purification, and aeration means better water quality. Natural minerals and Epsom salts means better relaxation. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, man, it's a hot one. It's 91 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Get your ass to the YouTube channel, WIBC, because it's Beer Sample Friday.
Right now,
Hammer and Nigel present
Beer Sample.
Fry.
I got some beers. Let's drink them, huh?
Beer's on sale, people. Come down, get you some.
My name is Nigel. That's Jason Hammer. This segment is sponsored by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Woo!
They're paying for this. And why don't you introduce this lovely girl that's sitting right next to me, Hammer?
So for a long time, she was the spokesgirl, the spokeswoman for the Watson's Company. It's hot.
Icon.
You need a pool. We would see you in hot tubs. We'd see you in tanning beds. You helped a lot of dudes our age get through puberty. Ladies and gentlemen, the Watson's girl, Jennifer Reichler, is here.
Wow.
How are
what
you?
What an intro.
You're iconic still. People remember the Watson's girl for sure, right? I mean, you still get it, obviously.
Yes, for sure.
Tucking that.
Yes, for sure.
Right there.
There, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. We'll get that out of the way when the beer bonging starts. How are you feeling about the beer bong challenge here, the celebrity beer bong challenge?
I'm
first of all?
quite nervous.
Nervous?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, come on. I remember the Ball State Jennifer and the Ball State Jennifer.
I'm a partier, but I don't chug beers.
You're more martini.
Now, I can drink like a football player. However, you know that like country song, if I have one, I'll have 13.
Right.
That's for sure. However, I don't chug beers.
Okay, what's the drink of choice, though? Like, if somebody were to take you out for a night on the town.
I think she is going out for a night on the town.
Yeah.
See what she's wearing?
It's hot out. What else are you supposed to wear?
You need a pool, right?
I was
come
gonna come.
Say the line.
I should have come in a swimsuit, but this was the smallest dress, so it worked.
What are you doing tonight? Where are you going?
Out.
Out?
Oh, okay. Is it date night tonight?
No.
Okay. Okay.
No.
Look at you like an
maybe
idiot.
like with my girls. I don't know. Well, date night with them.
So
yeah.
Are we single? Is that what it is?
Oh yeah.
Are we done with that kind of? Are we done with that for a while? The relationship thing?
Yeah, it's ick.
I love it.
It's so ick.
I mean, how do you? So the ball. I was telling Hammer earlier, like the balls you got to have to walk up to you and say, "Hey, let's go out on a date. Here's my number." Do people do that anymore? Like,
no, I don't think I've ever been approached that way.
No, how does it work?
I don't know.
Because dudes aren't dudes anymore. They're not confident.
I think I've already known the guys.
That reminds me. You and I almost went out on a date.
We did.
Back in the early 2000s. Do you remember?
It was arranged.
It was arranged by our mutual friend Christine Hazen.
Yes.
Yeah. There was a comedy club.
There's a reason why it was an almost date, Nige.
Do you remember this? There was a soft opening of a comedy club like on 96th Street.
And she was soft too. No, I'm just kidding.
And it was and I thought, and Christine had arranged, our mutual friend Christine arranged for us to get together. But
yay! When I leave here, is your wife gonna like try to kill me?
No. It was way before I knew my wife. But it never even happened.
Right.
So I almost got this close to going out with the Watsons girl.
Right. The only affiliation that I have in terms of relationships with our guest today, I think I was doing something to a friend of yours once, and you may have walked into the room.
Are you serious?
What were you doing?
You walked in? You walked in on Hammer?
I remember asking the other participant, was that so-and-so? And she laughed and said yes.
Oh, Lord.
So this was Ball State days, so long time ago.
Yeah, I don't remember then.
So what are you doing these days? What do you do?
I think she lives the dream, right?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I think
I'm raising my 2 daughters, and that's that. They're busy and fun, and I love them and their boyfriends and their families.
Were you sad when
and my A team?
Were you sad when Watsons went away? And I think it was bought by I don't know.
Was it Family
No,
Leisure?
it actually didn't go away. It's still our family company. So
okay.
Yeah, I just retired at that point.
You retired?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you just changed name. Okay.
Yeah, it's still our family business.
Awesome.
Yes.
How often do people come up to you and say, "Are you the Watsons girl?" Like, do they remember that?
Not as often anymore, but there are still a few.
And it was regional. It wasn't just Indy.
Right.
Central Indy.
We're in a lot of states and places. So yeah.
So if you follow Jen on social media, you see you spend a lot of time down at Ole Miss. What's your affiliation with Ole Miss?
My brother went there and graduated from there. And then we just fell in love with the town and the place.
Because Lane Kiffin is trash. Let me just tell you that right now, Jen. Lane Kiffin is trash.
No, if I had a boyfriend, I mean, he might be like a hall pass along with like Post Malone.
No,
Lane
he's a weasel.
He's just...
So Lane Kiffin and Post Malone, that's all you, huh?
He just owns it. And I don't know.
Unless it's the responsibility to coach the Tennessee football team. He owns everything else then, right?
Well, he's doing... I don't know. We like him there. I like him there currently. I think he will eventually... I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I think he'll leave Ole Miss at some point. Maybe be at Alabama.
Okay, we're running out of time.
Oh God.
So here we go.
I'm better at talking.
Nige is going to crack open this Miller Lite that you have requesed.
There it is.
If you can, slide a little closer to Nige.
A lighter beer. I would not
slide over a little closer to Nige if you wouldn't mind there.
Okay.
We'll get you on the shot.
Oh Lord.
I am so lucky. Wow, this is
twice in your life.
Yeah.
Nige is going to fill the beer up, and I will count you down, Jen, from 3, 2, 1, go. And when I say go, that is when you do your thing here, okay?
Okay. All right, Hammer, we're locked and loaded.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Wait.
Is there like a speed I'm supposed to go at? Like, is this a race?
No, this is an exhibition sport only.
Got it. Count down again.
All
go.
right, do it again.
3, 2, 1, go. Here we go. Get it.
Yeah!
Look at that.
High five the
Take it like
Watsons
a
girl.
champ, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
How you feeling?
That wasn't bad.
Load it up again. Do it again.
She's freaked the tank now. Fill it up
Listen,
again.
it's because it was room temp. Wow, that was easy.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Happy weekend.
The weekend is
here,
underway. It's here in Indy. It's Beer Sample Friday on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
If you live in central Indiana, You probably use, work, or live near I-70 and I-65 within the I-465 loop, and chances are you have an opinion on how those interstates could be improved. If so, Propel Indy wants to hear from you. Propel Indy is an opportunity for you to envision the future of Indy's urban interstates. Central Indiana is home to a world-class transportation system that links businesses, neighborhoods, and attractions together. But most interstates inside the I-465 loop were built more than 40 years ago and will need to be modernized for Indy's continued growth. With your feedback, Propel Indy will gain a greater understanding of community needs and ideas for improvement. Whether you live in a neighborhood near I-70, use I-65 for your daily commute, or attend events downtown, Propel Indy wants to hear from you. Share your ideas at propelindy.com. You can help propel Indy towards a more transformative tomorrow with a bold vision to modernize Indy's interstates and enhance the community for generations to come. Learn more at propelindy.com.
Denny Smith here. Sundown Gardens is excited to help you celebrate July 4th in style. The garden center's bursting with great annuals, home decor, trees, shrubs, and more. You have to shop the July 4th sale, 20% off container trees and shrubs now through July 3rd. That's right, 20% off container trees and shrubs. Sundown Gardens wants to help you have the best looking outdoor space around. Sundown Gardens at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, closed on July 4th, sundown.gardens.com.
I'm confused. After 40 years, people still tell me that they have seen another spa that's as good as a Royal Spa. I've given tours to engineering groups who see our operation and ask, how can anyone buy from others when Royal Spa products are so much better? The answer is that lots of people don't take the time to understand the unbelievable differences. Come into any of our locations and make the salesperson prove the superiority of the Royal Spa product.
Royal Spa.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information